Trash Talk Tuesday? Is that what you want?
I mean,
Yes.
I mean, I
Man.
love dropping one-liners on Billy, so yes.
Well,
that's
Lily
fair.
doesn't come on anymore.
You're literally asking, should I bring back a better show? The answer is yes.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Because it was extremely important for you to be here, man.
That's what
I'm
you
gonna hang
said,
out with
yeah.
my kid, so
He's leaving. No.
I'll be back
What?
later.
Wait,
Oh,
no, I'm
gangsters.
sorry.
What's up?
What? Fuck, I didn't think I was going to get this far.
Bye, guys.
Come on, man. Come on. It's okay.
Alright, we're
Everything
down
will
to
be
4.
great. Because I'll tell you what nobody knows is that the people who are watching right now are going to get the inside scoop on how to get 1,000 plex from your boy Redline 13, and everybody else is going to be wondering. So the less people watch, the better your chances are.
Bro, I'm literally on the show and you're not going to tell me. What the hell, Redline?
What do you mean?
1,000 plex?
1,000 plex.
Is there going to be like a real prize, or is that it?
The plex
No,
is the
we're-
prize.
No,
Oh.
we're in the age of plexperity. That is the prize.
Well, it's just not very much, you know?
No, there's 1,000 plex is quite a bit.
Is it?
Yes, of course it is.
Oh.
What do you? What? Yeah,
Isn't that like $3 bill?
I mean, yeah, that's $3 bill, but like
I mean-
apparently everybody's broke. So
$3 bill
I'm
will
not
get you
broke.
one whole paladin.
okay, you're not broke, but most people are broke.
Okay,
'cause
so Koten.
scarcity.
So what we're learning is that Koten doesn't want it. Got it. Okay, and Gerg. Well, I mean, Gerg's in PL.
I
so
mean, it
he's
depends
always
on what
rich.
kind of hoops I got to jump through to get it, right? I mean, it's only 1,000 plex,
No,
right?
1,000
Koten,
plex will
don't-
change your
Don't
life.
ruin this for me. I need the money, or my alliance needs the money.
Your alliance needs the money.
Yes.
Maybe-
Well, anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed the cool little thing that I did to the Fanfest countdown. Just
I thought that was
F12, by
good.
the way. I thought it was very good. I even took a couple of screenshots of it. I was super impressed with myself.
I hope the rest of the
production-
show is as good as that was, man. 'Cause that was pretty good.
It's not gonna be.
Prepare to be disappointed.
I don't think it will be, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Rain is gonna be on later to talk about one thing, and then we're gonna talk about Fanfest.
Is that how
But-
you pronounce it? Rain?
Yeah, Rain. But we're also
Okay.
we are also going to be talking about the Fanfest bingo. Armin
Oh, man.
suggested we do Fanfest bingo, so we're going to create it together live on stream.
Man.
Can we do anything else?
We can
Like,
do
is there
whatever
an
you want,
option
Riker.
B?
Riker, listen. From this moment forward until I say otherwise, Riker is the host.
Okay.
Congratulations, Riker.
Yikes.
And I'm ending the show now.
Wait, that's not
All right.
how
Well-
that works.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for tuning into the stream.
Okay, no, that's not what we're doing.
But you said I was the host. and as
Until
the
I
host-
said otherwise, then I say otherwise. Stop trying to end the show.
No,
It
but-
barely started, bro. What do you mean?
Can we get? Are we gonna get like portraits up, or is it just gonna be like the
I'm
Discord
not
overlay?
ending the show. I'm putting it out of its misery. There's a difference.
Because you said there were gonna be like character portraits. You know what I mean?
I said that there may be nameplates,
Okay,
but
well, why aren't there?
there aren't any nameplates because we're featuring something right now. We're featuring the countdown to FanFest because that's our primary topic for the night. It's
Yeah, but I
FanFest.
mean,
It's-
just,
we're
just say, all
introducing
right,
the show.
FanFest in like 30 hours. There you go.
FanFest is in 1 day, 9 hours, 54 minutes, and a counting down number of seconds.
I can't count, so I guess we
It's
do need
okay.
this up.
There's a countdown. It's right there. It's
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
screen
it's actually
right
good.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
can
great.
appreciate it actually.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad. So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go around the room first off and introduce ourselves.
Okay.
All right, you go first, content.
All right. I am Contan Wrecker. I'm the last goon in Pochvin. I spend most of my days in Pochvin, and that's about it.
Where do you spend your nights?
In Pochvin.
All right.
Yeah.
Gerg, who are you?
I'm Gerg. I talk a lot. Some of it is funny.
None of it's funny.
I don't think any of it's funny. Yeah.
You do try, and that's what's important.
Oh, also, this is my first time on the show, so hi everybody.
It is Content's first time on the show. And then, of course,
Mine too.
yeah, this is Gerg's first time. He's never been here, so treat him with a little bit of respect, okay? Just a bit.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself instead?
Yeah.
Oh, me? I'm some irrelevant person who had, I don't know, some relevancy last year. But you should go subscribe to my Twitch. Actually, no, not subscribe. I'm not there yet. You should go and follow my Twitch channel.
Yeah, follow. Why don't you drop that in the chat? We'll throw you a follow.
So what should we subscribe to? Your OnlyFans?
That's coming.
Subscribe to the New Eden Post, obviously.
Okay, well, if we're gonna shout out Twitch channels, you can actually subscribe to mine if you want.
Yeah, drop
So,
the links in the
saying.
chat. If the bot lets you
Yeah, there
post
you
the
go.
links, drop. Yep, it's not gonna let you do that. All right, whatever.
Oh.
Post them in the cesspool. Who cares? Anyways,
There, I
let's
put it
talk
in the
about-
cesspool.
Actually, it'll let me post because I'm still a moderator on this channel.
Oh, nice. All right.
Well,
Anyways,
post mine then, man.
yeah, DM
Here's
and I'll post it.
just DM me.
Yeah, if you want links, send them to Kurama faster than I can unmod him.
I need money for food, man.
All right, so first and foremost, Fanfest, right? So it's been, what, 2 years since Fanfest. We've got one. It's this weekend. Countdown's on the screen. We talked about it. It's supposed to be the biggest and best content that has ever been released to EVE Online. Coming soon to our video. Well, probably maybe not to the video game, but soon to our brains about what's coming to the video game, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of big. What do you guys think's actually
Hello,
gonna come?
Rain.
I don't know what's gonna come, but it better be worth $20 because if it's not, I'm done with this game.
I mean,
It's probably
Can I
not
have
gonna
your
be worth it.
stuff?
I'm with you 100%. Like,
Like, they're
if it's bad, I'm out.
Like there are just so many other games that I could play and actually get my money's worth.
It's gonna have something to do with faction warfare. That's my guess.
I mean, cool. I don't do faction warfare. I might try it out for like a week or two.
Who's ready for walking in stations, baby? Woo!
Yo, you talk shit. I spent all weekend doing walking in stations bullshit in Final Fantasy. Most fun I've ever had playing that game. I learned like some dance thing, and then I stood on the virtual dance floor and did slash dance, and then they had a DJ like Mind One just like ripping up some beats. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, let's go. Some
Okay.
cat girls were flirting with me. It was great.
But Final Fantasy is actually like already a good game.
Yeah.
Riker,
Yeah.
you don't need to do faction warfare to benefit from it. Faction warfare brings life into low second. And
What's
Not
low sec?
currently.
faction warfare is in bad shape, then low sec is in bad shape.
Well, why is lowsec why is faction warfare in bad shape?
This hasn't been touched for 10 years, dude.
Yeah, but why is it in bad shape? Like, what's wrong with it?
It hasn't been
Everything.
touched in bad years. There's no incentive to join the losing side in a war. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll join one side, get it to like, so Mimitar versus Amar, for example, they'll join the Amar side till they're winning, right? They're level 5 or whatever. Then they just run missions to collect LP. And then they're like, oh, now we got to switch sides. So they log on to another alt to join Mimitar faction warfare and run up the stuff there. So then they can profit off their LP. Like there's really no incentive to join the losing side. Think of like, I don't know, any other like player versus player game. Like I just think Planet side, right? If your
Planet
side's
side,
losing,
yeah.
if your side's losing or has less players, there's some stuff within the game to still give you some sort of advantage, right? Like the enemy has longer spawns, something like that. And there's a purpose to capture control points and like move around the map. In faction warfare, there's not. It's really boring. Like capturing plexes either means you sit there shooting a rat or not shooting a rat for like 15, 20 minutes by yourself, or maybe somebody who's not even in faction warfare comes in and you PvP. And sometimes that's good. Other times it's like, oh, you're not incentivized to PvP them. Like, why shoot them? Why not just warp off, wait till they leave because they're bored, and then warp back and just sit with the NPC? Like, that's not fun gameplay.
It's also not fun when
Yeah,
someone
so
in a
don't do it.
multi-billion ISK like Navy slicer just comes in and murks you. It's like, oh well, that dude obviously just Plex tanked his freaking ship.
Who the
Like
hell's
that's really
flying
fun.
that expensive of a slicer?
You'd be
is what I want to
surprised.
know. Is it
Chesser.
scrapyard attendant?
Guy's a hero.
Guy is a hero. I beat him in an honorable 1v1. Anyways, that's not the story. So no incentive. What else? What else is wrong with faction warfare?
So this doesn't really have anything to do with faction warfare, but I think that this was actually something that I was talking to Grath, and what Grath said was like, CCP's promised all these things. He doesn't think they're going to hold through with it because they are literally promising the biggest content update they've ever done. And yet, years ago, they said, hey, walking in stations is definitely going to be a thing, and they didn't pull that off. Granted, that was still many years ago, but I mean, if you look at CCP's history, like, I don't know. The biggest content update ever doesn't really inspire much confidence.
I mean, it does though. Like if it's a content update that actually makes people get into space and play the video game, then it's great. That's exactly what we need, right?
Okay, but like how many of those, like how many like things have they done where that was the goal and it just never panned out?
I don't think I've ever seen something where the goal was to breathe a new life in the game and wasn't just to have a fun event or something like that.
The game should have new
Yes.
content, considering how much we're paying for it now. I think it's important for it to have new content, especially since it's been like 3 years, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But all they actually have to do is unfuck the things they've already fucked, right?
well, and that's the thing. Like, I get the whole like, oh well, we want new players to come into the game, but it's and that's good, but you still need to be taking care of your old players. Like, you can't just let them, just be content starved, because then they're just going to leave the game. So now you're stuck in a thing where you're getting in new players just as much as you're losing old players, and old players tend to have more accounts. So now you're basically not getting anything. You're just losing players. Like, to me, it's actually a little bit amazing that the old guard of Eve have stayed around this long and not had new content and still continued to pay for the game.
Google the sunk cost fallacy, my guy.
I mean, that's very true.
See, I don't get that because I spent like a year and a half like playing Eve super hardcore, and
Okay.
I have no sunk cost fallacy about Eve at all.
Okay, but I've like someone like me, I've been playing Eve for 10 years.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's like, I fought in both, like, quote unquote World War Bs or whatever you want to call them. So the sunk cost fallacy is definitely big for me.
I turned 30 this year, and I've been playing this game for 15 years.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
that's a
It's half your
problem.
life.
Yeah, like that. I realized that this year and had like a mental
Is it
breakdown
worth
for like
it?
a week. No, it's
It
not.
hasn't been worth it at all. The
I mean, it's been
friendships you
worth
made
it because
along
it
the
gave
way?
me my career, like 100%. Like, I actually learned graphic design because of this game, and now I'm a professional graphic designer and have been for 4 or 5 years. Been in marketing for 7. But yeah, like I managed to turn some transferable out of game skill into a career. But like playing this game for 15 years, like you develop an attachment to it. I haven't played it non-stop for 15 years. I'm not that insane, but it's like I guarantee there are tons of people in the same boat as me. I only have one account subbed at the moment, but still, like you never really quit Eve. You'll always come back. It's a weird game like that.
Oh, I mean, I feel like a lot of games are like that. Like, you've got all the people that quit WoW and then you eventually come back for every new expansion.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people that still play this game because of the other people they play with, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So if that changes, I think a lot of us would be out. Like if I wasn't in the Imperium or with some group of people I actually care about, I probably wouldn't be playing this game. I wouldn't have come back.
We've seen that happen with groups too, though, right? Like, well, who was it? Skill You? When all the Skill You quit, they literally all just went and played other games with each other, and then you just lost this massive alliance in the game.
Mhm.
And that happens with a lot of alliances too, right? Like, I'm pretty sure if leadership of Pandemic Legion quit, we'd all go quit and play other games together and other things like that. Which is both good and bad, right? People stick around for each other, but when you have mass exodus of a lot of people just being fed up or sick of the game, or I don't know, finding better games to play, they'll all leave.
And
Well, I think
that's exactly what I'm scared of happening. is a mass exodus. Because it just needs one little start, and then it's gonna flow for a while.
Well, one thing I'm worried about is what point of the EVE player count, where does it drop to where the markets just stop working and the ecosystem just grinds to a halt?
That's true.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be a mass exodus. That might only be another 3,000-4,000 people less playing, and then it becomes a fucking snowball.
That's really scary. All right.
Well, and this,
Doom
well,
and
and the same
gloom
thing
aside.
too. Well, I mean, and here's something that's probably even worse. Like, if the EVE community, if that happens, then the EVE community is at serious risk of just dissolving. And I don't want the EVE community to just straight up dissolve. Yeah, we could play other games, but really the main thing that ties the EVE community together is EVE. Yeah, the alliances might still play games together, but if you're not in, X alliance, then good luck.
We have the cesspool.
I mean, yeah, but how many times a day do people in the cesspool get together and actually just BS and play games?
Once a week.
As many times as they want.
I would be sad if the server was deleted. I think it's pretty, it's like a stomping ground, right? Like a neutral meeting place that we sometimes shit talk each other in. I enjoy it.
And that
it's way more than sometimes.
And that you usually just take shits in. That's
Yeah,
what happens here
of
in this
course.
Discord.
It's great. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope you like the new colors and all that fun jazz. Anyways.
Why is my name not pink? I clicked the pink icon.
Because you're blue. Do you not want that? You don't want to be blue?
I want pink.
Pink. All right. I respect your right to choose.
Nice. You're better than the U.S. Supreme Court.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about at all. Yikes.
Look, it's my username. It's my choice of color.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to be Planket Pink or?
Yeah, Planket Pink. Hello,
Planket.
Planket, dude.
And you'll have Planket next to your name too.
Yes.
Test it out.
Also, on the topic of the economy breaking down, the thing for me is I've been thinking about how do you actually get people into this game if they're just trying it for the first time? It seems incredibly difficult considering everything that's happened recently and the price increase.
You need people like us to get people into the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's yeah, come play this MMO that costs more than every other MMO and is also in a really bad state right now, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to do EVE Online's marketing for them.
Yeah.
They can pay me.
It's a rough one for sure.
I mean, and this is going to be a hot take, right? I think that everybody is giving CCP a lot more shit than they deserve. Because how many video games do you play on a regular basis that are literally just there to siphon money from you?
Okay, but
you mean Raid Shadow Legends?
But how many games do you play that actually give regular content updates and actually are worth their money?
Yeah,
None.
when was the last actual content update?
There are plenty of games that get content updates. You've got Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, you have that's one of those games where you can technically buy it once and then you don't have to pay for anything. I bought that game once and I have it forever. And if I want, a new expansion pack, I pay $15 and I unlocked a whole new region's worth of content. And that's if I want to or not. And those content updates are constantly coming out, as well as I'm getting free starter quests that act as prologues to those content packs, and all that stuff's for free. Hell, look at a game like Fortnite, all right? You're getting new content every single season, and you don't have to pay for it.
Right.
So
it feels like CCP is abusing the fact that there is no other game like EVE.
So here's the question.
The package, right?
Here's the question for you, Riker. In all of those games, if that content wasn't available, what would you do?
I wouldn't play them.
Right. So you play EVE because EVE is a sandbox. It is a choose your own adventure. It is a create your own content, right? That's what people want out of EVE Online.
Hey, Redline, you've got a cat, right?
I have 2 cats.
So your cats have a litter box, right?
Yes.
What happens if you don't clean the litter box?
They
They
don't
shit on the
use
floor.
it.
They stop using it and they start shitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm getting. Like we're at the litter box has been shit in, except the shits come from CCP, and they're not cleaning it up.
Okay, so you think
It's a bad metaphor, but also they're shitting in their
it's
sandbox.
it's kind of not, actually, now that I think about it. It's
Here's my thing, right? Like, I've done pretty much all I really want to do in Eve. Like, the only thing that's keeping me tied to the game is like, oh, you know, I have friends in it, but it's just it's not worth, for me at least, the money that I'm paying, because again, like, there isn't new sand that I can play with. There isn't like cool new ships. Like, it's all just been the same, and I've been doing pretty much the same thing for the past 3 years. And it's like, wow, this is getting kind of boring. All right. And it's not my job as a consumer to be like, okay, well, you know, CCPs, you know, they're working on getting stuff fixed. You know, I should give them more time. No, that's not my, like, I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't have to, try to make acceptances and saying like, oh, well, they still deserve a little bit more money. No, it's my money. And if they are putting out a product that is no longer that worth that money, then I'm not going to pay them.
I'm gonna have a hot take from what you said there. Everyone keeps talking about, oh, new ships, new ships. How many ships do you actually fly in Eve? Like, if I go to Zkill, is your top 100 ships fully maxed out with like you flying those ships at least more than once? Because if your answer is no, I really don't want to hear you talk about more ships. Like, I really don't care. There's literally 300 ships in the game, and they actually just released new ones. If you ever heard of the Alliance tournament, there's more ships there that are actually really strong. You could probably afford them if you grind real hard.
Okay, but like how, first off, the Alliance tournament ships are very limited number, and
There's still
like
some for sale. You can still get one.
for a realistic player, like they're never going to get their hands on those unless they grind ridiculously, which because of the newest changes is even harder, to the point where it's really not worth it. And the whole thing of, well, if you haven't flown all the ships, okay, well, I don't want to fly all the ships. Right? I
Why
don't
do you
like
want
all the
more?
ships.
This is why the Delta
Because the
Squad
last
CSM platform is buffing the Munin.
because when they last released new ships, like when they released the Triglavian and Edencom ships, all right, I didn't really like the Edencom ships, but I really liked the Triglavian ships, and I really liked flying them, and I really liked doing that kind of stuff. There are probably people who like new and different ships that would probably like some new and different ships.
How would you know if you liked it if you never flown it?
I would like
I can
assault
look at the ship,
destroyers.
and if I can look at the
See, I
ship and
thought
look
I
at
would love
everything and
flying
think,
carriers, and I hated it. I think I might like flying a Titan, but I don't know because I haven't tried it yet.
Would you like to fly assault destroyers, which is just a thrasher with medium guns?
I love
That sounds
Thrashers.
like it would own.
Yeah,
Could you
that would be pretty
imagine?
cool.
Thing is, I'm not gonna quit as a result of whatever happens at FanFest, but I'm probably gonna unsub a bunch of accounts, right? Which is kind of the same thing for CCP. Like I'll go from like what 9 or whatever to like 2 or 3 maybe. It's gonna get real bad real quick.
I mean, I hear you say that, but I'm like, it's one of those things where a lot of times I hear people like they're talking about Eve and the things that they find wrong with it, but they don't really have like an alternative. And I understand that none of us are game developers, but the fuck, Riker, you said something and I totally forgot what you said. Never mind. Skip what I was gonna say because I'm forgetful. But I do
I will
think
stay sub if they recolor the Zealot to red. That is my one line in the sand.
I mean, I guess that could be a question. Do you think that... Oh, Riker, you were talking about new ships in EVE. So, the thing is, though, is that if you don't like the content, then you just don't play it, right? Like, that's what I did for all of Shadowlands and World of Warcraft.
I mean, yeah, like
But the thing is that do you create your own content, or do other people create your content for you?
I mean, generally, when I'm paying for something, I would like to, get my money's worth of
Okay.
content.
Okay, but what is the content that you're looking for?
New sand to play with in the sandbox.
Okay, but what kind of sand do you want to play with?
New ships, new sites that I can actually like realistically go and do. Maybe some new cool mechanics.
So if you've flown 30 different ships in your Eve career, there are 270 new ships for you to fly.
Okay, but what if I've looked at those ships and been, because here's the thing, right? Like, it's not about just like, oh, well, you haven't flown the ship, so you haven't experienced the content. Flying ships, like, there's only so many ways to like fly ships, right? And
I don't know.
I've flown
Have you
it, and I've
flown
flown.
all of the ways to fly all of the ships?
No, I haven't. Okay, but I've flown enough
Okay.
ships to where it's like, okay, I look at the ships and it's like, yeah, no, that ship doesn't really seem that appealing to me. I don't really want to fly it. Or, oh, this ship doesn't look really cool. I don't want to fly it. That's how I base ships. Like, if they look cool to fly, then I fly them.
Okay. What's your Eve character's name?
Riker 514.
Riker 514. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look on your Zkill, and I'm gonna see what your top ships are. I'm gonna
Probably
do
like the
this.
Munich.
Yeah, because if it's Munins and shit like that, then you're just flying what your FC tells you to. And like there's a place for that, but it's also if you're basing everything that you do off of what other people are doing around you, then of course you're not going to have fun when the people who are doing stuff all around you are tired of doing it. Like that's one of the big things that's happening is FC's just getting bored because it's the same
You know
shit
what
over
would
and over
own?
again.
Having
So-
more reasons to be in space.
Right?
You know what
No, it
owned?
But
really
if my
would.
FC wasn't telling me to do stuff, who would be telling me what to do?
You know what owned? You know what owned real hard? Having passive moon mining that you could go fight over.
Yeah, bring back passive moon mining.
So is the argument that like, because I haven't done all of the content that doesn't look appealing to me, I shouldn't get new content for a game that I pay money for?
That's not
I
the
mean,
argument. So my
the thing is, the
argument.
CCP. Oh, sorry, go on, Red.
Alright. That's not my argument for you, Riker, and I mean this as respectfully as possible as respectfully as I can possibly say it, but you are a content leech. You get your content from other people, and that's fine. So that's why I'm asking you, like, what kind of things do you want? You say new ships to fly, but what are you gonna do with those ships? Are you gonna go solo with them? Like, if that's not your playstyle now, then Magic new ships aren't gonna make it your playstyle.
I mean, if I get new ships, I'm gonna look at them, and if I like them, and I think, oh, cool, I want to fly it, then I'm gonna go and I'm going to fly it, and I'm going to go and try to use it in various different things. If I don't like the ship, then I'm not going to buy it, and I'm not going to fly it.
However, other people will like it and will fly it and will be in space to shoot.
Exactly.
In a PvP video game online.
That's just kind of what that's just the part that I really don't understand. It's like, okay, yes, I haven't done all the content in EVE Online. I'll say it right now. Yes, I have not flown all of the ships in EVE Online.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to. There's a billion of them.
Yeah, but because the whole argument is based off of I'm a paying customer. I have done all of the content that I feel like I wanted to do. Why should I continue paying for something that I feel that I'm no longer that I no longer have any enjoyment? And I feel that I could get more enjoyment out of if there was new content added. Like when they added Abyssal Dead Space, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that content. That was new content that I got to play with and have fun in.
You can
And
still
then
do
it just
that.
stopped.
The Abyssal Space stuff.
I can
you
still do a lot. I can still do a lot of things, but after doing that for literal years, sometimes you want something new.
And I'm gonna say this, like, and I don't mean this to be mean to anyone, but you can stop playing the game until new stuff comes out and then play it again. Like that's what Final Fantasy does. They're literally like, "Hey guys, here's an expansion." Then they maybe have some patches. Then they're like, "Okay, fuck off. We're not going to do anything but bug updates till the next expansion." And
Oh
then
yeah, like
you either play with stuff or you just stop subbing and then come back when stuff is added. Like you don't have to demand things 24/7 from CCP. If you don't like the game, don't play.
I
24/7. It's been 3 years.
I mean, I totally agree with that.
3
Like
years
at the
since
end of
what?
Since
Since
there's been any
actual
new
content was
content.
added to the game.
Yeah, but they've also added balancing stuff, which people have been begging for years.
Yeah,
Look,
they've
What,
just
that are 20
balancing
the
stuff
things
with
they
nothing
fucked.
else to do is not a game update that's worth crowing about. It's making a functional game. Like, it's unfucking your previous shit work. Like, having new stuff to do and keeping people logging in rather than just repeating the same treadmill is what we want.
So
Also, we're not shitting on him for wanting more content. We all want more content, but we're all understanding as well, I guess.
See,
So
I don't
if
know.
I
I'd
may
rather have
bring a
all this
point in.
stuff fixed.
So Riker, I'll agree that you could say he's a content leech because he only flies fleet ships. But the fact is that he's still joining fleets and he's still flying those ships, which is good. That means that he's hopefully finding something worth his time to do. The problem for some people, and I'll say that's specifically me in this instance, is that the amount of time I have to spend not doing things that I find fun in EVE to be able to enjoy doing things in EVE, like flying a Munin with people that I enjoy playing with, is not worth it anymore. The amount and the ability for me to make money in EVE when I just pay my sub is not high enough for me to go out and be able to lose anything. So if Riker says more ships will make that better because then there's more opportunity, my question then is it that the new ships will provide content for you or that you have enough disposable income, either in EVE or in real life, that it makes it worthwhile to go out and try those new ships because you don't have to spend a bunch of time doing things you don't want to do in EVE?
I'm gonna straight up say it is a whole lot more simpler than that. It's, oh hey, look, shiny new thing, and if it looks cool, I'm gonna buy it and go and fly it. Like for me, ISK is, if I want a ship, I'm gonna fly a ship. You know, ISK isn't gonna stop me.
So did you fly the Proteus before the Proteus changes?
I did
He's
quite a
never
bit.
flown a Proteus before.
I've flown a Proteus before. The
Have
thing
you
is,
flown a Proteus in the past 2 years?
I must
I
be
have a
on.
Proteus right now,
let's
and
see,
I hot top it on people. It is not a good ship to do it with, but I do it anyway.
I must be on
That's what
the
I'm
East
saying
Coast.
though, is
style.
that like they're going to be meta trends though that sort of dictate what ships are good for you. So they can come out with good ships or they can come out with new ships, but if they're not really good ships, people generally don't fly them, right? Because it just means that you're at a disadvantage in a game that you're already potentially at a disadvantage for if you don't have the numbers or you don't have the speed or something like that, right?
right.
There's a relatively rational person here asking in the chat, why are we interrogating Riker for wanting more content to do and something he pays $20 a month for?
I'm not
Objection, hearsay.
interrogating him.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm not
anyone's
interrogating him.
interrogating me.
I'm on his side for some of this. I think it's good that if CCP can add new ships, I think that's a good thing. I'm just asking that, does that really change anything for anyone else, or is that just something that Riker's going to be happy with no matter what if there's just more content for him to look at?
I mean,
There's a guy in chat that says Riker seems like he just needs to quit the game. The thing is that everybody in this voice channel, everybody watching this stream, is likely somebody that want to play this game, right?
God, so
They like
badly,
EVE.
dude.
It's a unique game, right? And they want to play it, but when things change and they no longer want to play it, it's sad.
like I'm not saying that people should quit the game. Like my whole point was like, hey, I no longer find the game fun. I want it to be fun. This is what I want in the game. And if, like, here's the thing, because at the end of the day, it's CCP's game. If that's not something that they want to do, you know what? That's fine. I have no control over it. I'm just going to step away. And if they add new content that I like in the future, then I'll come back.
You know what I will say though? I am proud of you because I'm looking at your kills, all-time kills. You have kills with 100 different ships on your main. 3 of them are with a marshal. I like that for you. So you have flown a lot of ships.
There's
So
also
Rain,
my
he's-
high sec There's also my high sec alts, which I fly a bunch of different ships on, but I'm not gonna say my high sec alt out here.
So really though, I mean, what kind of sand do you want? You do have 700 kills in a Munin and almost 500 in an Atron somehow.
Oh, yeah, there was a funny story about that. Remember the frigate free for all?
Ah, that must be
Yeah,
why you have 588 kills in Uletta.
pretty
Makes
much.
sense to me.
Well, if you actually look at Hero Alliance's kill board, in that one weekend we got like 4,000 kills. We fixed our kill board.
That's insane.
It was so fun.
Well, I wonder how many ships I've ever flown or got kills with. Let's see.
Yeah, I have over 100, but like half of them, like 2 of them are pods, which means I was in a ship and then died, and then that other ship died. And then a couple of them, like one was like I got kills in a Dominix and switched to a Noctis, and then other ones were just like meme ships. Like in terms of me flying a lot of ships in the game, I haven't. I haven't flown a lot of E-War that I want to fly. Haven't flown a lot of battleships I want to fly. Like
Don't you have a
CCP adding more ships without defining the niches for the current ships would just be a waste of time.
don't you have a Raven state issue on there at one point?
Yeah, I borrowed that from a friend.
I have 795 kills in a monitor. Also, I realize now that it only shows the top 100, which means that both
Yeah.
Riker and I have more than
But are your
100
bottom
ships.
ones the bottom ones? Is it like 1 and 2s, or is it like 10s and 20s, if not more?
Hell yeah, my
Uh,
100th ship is a stabber with 1 kill. Let's go, baby.
I
Yeah,
have
that's kind of like
80.
a
I have 80 ships with 10 or more.
It's also probably worth looking at the ships like that were lost as well, because like
Riker only
you could
has
have a ship.
57 ships with 10 or more.
You also need to look. You also need to look at the ships lost, because I've flown definitely a lot of ships that have died. And, I think back to all the rattlesnakes I've lost trying to rat. Oh geez, I still loved that ship though.
Yeah.
The
So
rattlesnake
anyways,
is one of my favorite ships.
So we're talking about, things that have made you not want to play and things like that. I guess. So is there anything else aside from I guess, does anybody else have anything that would make them come back aside from more sand in the sandbox and less poop?
What would bring me back to this game is valuing my time, and that's obviously not something that can be concretely addressed, but at the same time, if you're going to raise the price, I have to feel like my time is valued more, and right now I don't feel like I can make money in the game effectively enough to make the fun I get worthwhile, or make
But
the time that I have
can,
fun
though.
worth it.
You absolutely can.
2.5 years of scarcity has reduced the average player count from like 25-30,000 to the last week has 19,000 average PCU. Like, it has been an objectively bad time for finding content and growing the game.
Also, Ashrathi, no one's attacking people who like it. We're just saying like this is why we don't enjoy the game anymore. Like if you enjoy Eve, like you should go and you should continue to enjoy Eve. Like who cares what anyone else says?
His opinions, no matter my opinion on his opinion.
So-
Can we talk about monetization and how CCP's like fucking dropped the ball there real hard?
Again?
No,
Yeah.
what do you mean? No, they finally gave us Alliance skins and apparel.
Oh yeah, the XIX ones.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah,
Rude of
Legion
them.
of
I
Death
want.
was the first. Congrats,
To
Legion
be
of Death.
fair, Goons already have the hazard control skin. It just needs to be renamed
I thought they had a
and put on
peace
every
skin.
ship. And we got Metal Bee. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were talking on another stream yesterday. We were doing Delta After Dark, and we were saying like, why have they not done stuff like custom colored engine trails and custom bullet animations? Like, imagine paying 500 plex for a custom Doomsday animation. Like, imagine if you could shoot rainbows with your Ragnarok for
Do you want the
1,000
real
plex.
answer?
I mean, I would do that.
I would
You-
love.
the
That
real
could probably
answer?
not physically feasible in the game engine.
Well,
but
even if it was feasible, so think of all the skins with all the hologram stuff, and think of, so just imagine, you know how bad tie-dye is when you have like 6,000 people crammed into a system and they're all pressing their buttons and they have potato mode on? Now imagine that, but the people who don't have potato mode have to render all those unique skins and trails.
I would simply turn it off.
So when the thing is with a lot of these animations is when it gets super intensive on a computer, it just like crashes clients. And so that's a lot of the reason they don't do some of this custom stuff, as far as I'm aware. But that's just like hypothetical, or not hypothetical,
Yeah, I mean,
speculation on my
I
part.
would simply turn it off if I was jumping into a 10,000 person Titan fuckfest, but that's just me.
So that is fair, but like, so let's take the Doomsday for example. Like, you could just change the color of the Doomsday lance and maybe change the material that it uses, and
Yeah.
it would essentially be the same.
Let me shoot a hot pink load out of my avatar.
I'm all for it. I'm just saying that if next time we have like M2 attack or whatever, but it crashes at 500 people because they have hearts exploding out of their Titans, that's why.
I mean, hear me out though. Should we dictate 99.9% of the game over the 0.01% of the game that's tie-dye like that?
I used an extreme example, but I think the Hextech Mercurial skin crashed people at 70. So it's stuff like that
Okay.
where it's really bad on the system. If they
I did
fix
not
that,
know that. That's cool.
if they fix that, it would be great. Like I would love it because I love some of these skins, like the Dramiel Fire skin and the Lightning skins and all this stuff looks super cool. But as far as I know, they're super technically limiting on the
Yeah.
game.
But the Pokemon air skins they got on Singularity, whatever
What if
whatever the Chinese
choosing a
server is?
skin became a tactical
Serenity.
decision like that?
I mean, I don't think choosing a skin is a tactical decision.
So what I'm wondering is that, like, how is this really bitching? All I'm hearing is like actual like people bringing up
Not
like,
bitching.
yeah, that's
Goons
what I'm trying to
crashed the
figure
server
out.
by all loading the Hex skin on their avatars. That's going to
Can't
happen
believe
in
you did that.
2025.
Nobody
Look
flies
at that.
Mercurials anymore.
My
That's an
carriers were
avatar.
so great.
That's why
When-
CCP nerfed them, dude.
They nerfed the Mercurial so that people would stop crashing
Yeah,
the
they're like,
server.
the skins are crashing the server too. Nah, I'm kidding.
I will say flying a Macarial in level 4 missions is actually pretty fun. You go super speedy and the rats just can't even keep up with you.
Just let me shoot Nyancat out of my Ragnarok. That's all I want.
Oh my god, that'd be so amazing. But actually, though, would
But
walking in
you could do-
stations do anything for anybody?
Yes.
I would
I-
actually, after playing Final Fantasy, yes, I would love it. At first, I didn't care.
That is
Yeah.
actually number 4 on the Delta Squad CSM manifesto, is bring back walking in stations, but with ray tracing and an in-game marriage system.
I don't think they'd pull it off properly.
Yes, the marriage system. Oh my god, dude, that would be so
How
cute. You get like
could
little
they
rings for your
not?
characters.
How
If
could
they
they
could
not
pull it off, then
properly?
sure.
Didn't they
I
already
mean,
have
weren't
it working
performance
before?
issues last time? There were like
I'm-
serious performance issues, right?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't play the game around then.
Well, that was
It would melt GPUs first time around. Like people would like have the GPUs just catch on fire.
There
Just
was
sounds like a
supposedly
skill
some
issue.
article where they were talking about it. It was like some performance thing, so they cut the whole thing.
Look,
I
I will
don't know.
gladly pay an extra $5 a month if I got like Dust 514 too, like Dust 515. Like, give me that. I'll pay $5 extra.
Fully
a month for that.
featured walking in stations, like actually working. Yeah, I'd pay $5 a month more for probably.
I would too.
Hear me out. How many of you were actually around for Incarnate?
I was, yeah, it was not great. Because here's the thing, the game was struggling for content and hadn't had updates for ages. And then they're like, here's walking in stations, guys. We've been working on this instead of upgrading the video game.
That's
Now,
a bingo.
I'm not telling you time's a flat circle, but time might be a flat circle.
Yep. So if they come out with walking in stations and it's really good, cool. But it gets boring after about 5 minutes, and then you go, well, I'd need the content in the game that I play for it to really be worth it. And then you realize that they've spent probably a year or so working on something that doesn't really give you any content.
Wasn't it just captain's quarters? They never actually introduced the full thing.
I couldn't open.
Yeah.
You couldn't open the door. One day the door will open.
Yeah, like I said, fully featured walking in stations, not just captain's quarters.
So you're talking about like an Eve metaverse at that point, and I don't
Oh,
think that's going
no.
to change anything. I
Well,
really don't.
not
Because
necessarily.
the
But
gameplay
Look,
is all
Hillmar
about
tweet.
shooting other spaceships in the game or doing
That Hillmar
something in
tweet, though.
space. Right, like you might get a different influx in the community, and some of the community might like it, but the majority of the community is here because they like flying spaceships in space, right?
no, I agree. But I think it'd be interesting enough for me to pay more, as long as they're also fixing things, which it seems like they're trying to do.
So, like, what Stellaris does is they've got 2 teams now. Granted, the teams don't put out content as much as they used to, but they've got the custodian teams, which focuses, like, all they do is balance and rebalances, and
They're
maybe
like
they'll
the Team Talos.
and maybe they'll put out a new Civic, and then you've got the DLC team, which their entire job is to just put out new DLC, and they might put out a DLC once every 8 months. But every time they put out a new DLC, everyone immediately goes back and plays. Like, they're putting out a new DLC where they're adding, where you can now build your own mercenary enclaves, and they're basically going back and redoing the systems. Like, right with this newest content patch, they're going back and redoing the vassal system. But instead of just like changing it, they're making it completely fresh, completely new, and it's something that you can actually interact with and have content.
Can't wait to have to get out of my spaceship and walk over to the mission dealer so that I can turn in my burner missions and then tell them I don't want to do the anomic team. And then go about my day.
Original Mountain Blade vibes.
Guys, Ashtarthi wants to know if we want him to come on the show.
No.
I do.
I
Yeah,
like Ashtaroth.
I
Oh,
don't
you
I don't
said
see
no.
why not.
If he lets me
didn't
talk to him about how asset safety is good, actually.
Asset safety is great. We love asset safety. But no, like, so walking in stations would be pretty cool, but I don't know if it'd be cool enough for me to be like, yeah, let me play the game in space. Is this what we want, right? We want people in space. Walking
What
stations.
if instead of in space, you had to dock your ship, and instead of it just being disappeared in some citadel, you had to park it outside, so it was like kind of tethered. And
Can
then
you
like
imagine?
while you're gambling and throwing money at strippers, people could like come over and bump your Titan off and then pod you or whatever,
Oh
like kill
no.
your ship while you're not in it.
People wouldn't do it with their Titanals.
Look, dude,
No.
you gotta show the strippers you have a lot of money. What the
Look,
fuck?
Ryan has raised a great point in the comments, is
God.
walking in stations will be saved if agents square up if you have bad standings. If you rock up with neg 10 blood raiders, the agents just like pull out
Like
a
GTA,
piece.
dude.
Like a fucking GTA mini game
They're
going
like,
on.
hey man, what are you doing? And then they just start throwing pans.
Jeez.
Sounds amazing.
And you'll be like, no, it's fine, guys. I learned diplomacy.
Who was the one who compared this to Mountain Blade?
That was me.
Yeah, I liked Mountain Blade. I mean, it was definitely done by people who were making their first game, but it was really good for what it was.
Yeah, it was just a reference because to turn in quests to the village elder, you had to like enter the town, walk all the way over there, and it took fucking ages.
And the strange guy who's hiding in the village who's actually a criminal.
Yeah.
Strange village criminals. Are you talking
So
about
what I'm
Fanfest,
saying
or...
is we just need to port EVE Online over to the Star Citizen engine, and
Can you
What
imagine?
if that's the next crossovers? Like EVE Online with Star Citizen, and then instead of like flying your ship in space, you like help, like instead of like 20 Munins, you have like all your FC, like all your team on like one ship and the FC pilots, but you all have to like run the engines and the guns manually and like reload it manually.
Oh my
okay,
god,
yeah,
who would be your
so that's
engine runner?
actually another crossover, is another part of the Delta Manifest. It's actually number 10 is we want a Morbius crossover tie-in
Oh man.
with the Morbius cinematic universe. This was requested by our representative, Fernok Dawn, who can't actually post on r/eve due to censorship by the moderation team.
And
Censorship.
no one is gonna vote for him.
Why not? I
No.
think I will.
I don't think you should.
You know, I think Pittsburgh has the right idea. He's playing X4 Foundations right now.
See,
Fernok got banned from Reddit, unfortunately, for
rip.
insulting Sapporo Jones's honor.
That is the best thread on Goonfleet forums by a lot.
Where he just tries to speedrun getting banned from various platforms, yes.
It's
Hey,
actually so funny.
Redline Ash is waiting in the drag me.
Oh well, he could. I figured he could just join the channel on his own. Does not have the role.
Well,
Oh,
it's
doesn't have
fixed
the role.
now.
Also, number 13, court mails can't be turned off, please, ever.
Yeah, it was locked.
Important.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So now, by the way, now this whole channel is accessible by the clicking a little button in the Rules and Rules channel and the cesspool. Anybody can come
Are we
in
doing
here
a
now.
race to get banned from Twitch too?
No,
Yes.
no, that's not. Fine. Don't worry
Look,
about
if we didn't get
Love.
banned on Twitch yesterday for Delta After Dark, then then this stream is fine. All right. We were discussing doing so. Fernok Dawn has Pectus excavatum, so he's got a hole in his chest like a dip, and we were trying to raise money for him to do tech deck tricks in an X Games style.
Is that why you asked that
Jesus
terrible, weird
Christ.
question?
Which question? I ask a lot of weird ones.
You asked how much money would we pay money to
Yeah.
see someone do tech tricks in a chest cavity?
Yeah,
Okay,
and he'll do it for like $60.
pretty cheap actually.
There's a
I got
photo of him
5.
doing body shots out of it. It rules.
I got 5 on it.
That's not bad.
I'm good for $5.
Sweet. I will I'll see
Wait, is this
if I can
paying him
negotiate it down.
personally, or is it
Well,
going to like charity?
Going to
No,
a
we're going to
CSM
fundraise our
campaign,
CSM
obviously.
campaign that way. Any money
of
we'll do,
course.
we'll spend on what is it? Those shout outs that celebrities do for money.
Yeah, promotions.
So what was it? Cameos?
Yeah.
Cameo.
Cameos. Exactly.
Like last year we had Gilbert Gottfried say that Delta Squad ruled, and that was one of the last things he ever made before he passed away.
Can we get
that's-
Mittens to make a cameo account?
I would totally pay. I will throw money at that dude if he
Yep.
could say stuff.
I'll start a cameo. Fuck.
No.
Listen,
Not
No,
me?
normies have to do Fiverr, dude.
Listen, I will
Man.
pay. I will pay
Verified.
$50 if Muzzle says nuzzles your necky wecky uwu.
If
Mm.
Muzzle
Cameo
says
is
that?
like OnlyFans, but if you're already famous.
All right. Anyways, so Ashtrathi, you were talking a lot in the chat. What were you talking about?
That depends on what point.
The most
We're going
recent
back-
point.
Mans
me
was
see
having
which one
World
that
War One in the comments.
He was
so-
saying that people being mad is bad because it makes other people sad.
Oh no, yeah. What I was saying is that the high amount of like vitriol that the angst in the public community has become so high that it's actually causing new players to not enjoy the game, or to think that they shouldn't enjoy the game. They think that something's wrong with them. I've literally been asked whether or not there was something wrong with them liking the game, considering the fact that everybody's so upset. So it's kind of interesting because what is it? The Pietro's principle. 80% of the feedback comes from 20% of the population. One of the things that we have from this entire time is that ultimately the player base as a whole, by statistics, the majority of the player base aren't necessarily us, that we are the minority, and that these opinions, the public opinion, the loud opinion, is often a minority opinion. And the issue is that places like Reddit are the places that people go to find out about things. So when they go there and they read this stuff, it doesn't necessarily affect them. They're not roll call pilots. They're not any of this stuff. The gameplay for them is literally the exact same as it was before scarcity. The only, or technically better, I guess. But they believe it.
So all of this is anecdotal, just to clarify, right?
Okay, so you're saying that people are reading something that they've found on the internet, and because that people that have are having these experiences and they're not enjoying it, and they're posting about it to say, hey, this is some of it I can see is just makes no sense and doesn't help anyone, but then you've got some of it that's actually trying to provide feedback, and then a new player sees this and then says, okay, well, is there something wrong with me? I shouldn't like this game, and then they stop playing it. That doesn't really sound like an issue with
That's
people
not what I'm
posting.
saying.
And
Because people do that all the time. Like people have said, there have been complaints about the game all the time. Like our Eve subreddit wasn't a bastion of joy before this. But the point is that the vitriol has hit a different level, to the point where now what we actually see is people being outright attacked or disparaged if they present positive opinions.
Please
That's
post. Please
that's a
post your
stretch.
sources and not your anecdotal opinions, please.
Okay, but like, why? So someone, and this just might be because I have
Hold on. Why is me saying what you can see on Reddit if you want to anecdotal?
You are
But
making claims,
but people
Asharafi, please
saying that
back them up.
nobody is playing right now isn't anecdotal.
Have you looked at, like, we know when people say nobody is
look at it
playing right
every
now,
day.
they literally do not mean the server is at 0 player count. Like you said yourself in the chat, you were being a pedant. Like,
So,
take off
for
the
the
pedant
record-
hat for a second and look at it like a regular fucking person, my guy.
My
Like,
first
look at a
advice that I
regular
give to
fucking
any
person
new
and look
player
at the
is
EVE
to
offline
avoid
graph.
Reddit.
I'm talking over Gerg because I don't like him. It's gone from like 30,000 people a day down to 19,000.
You're right. When you start
"Things are
getting a lot
fine
of
here."
bots and you start making people not want to do multi-boxing gameplay, the player count, the PCU goes down. That is
No,
correct.
incorrect.
As a
That is
result of
not
that.
what's changed over the last 2 years. You're doing 2 + 2 and equaling 4 here. You're saying, oh, the price change is reducing multi-boxing. That's why things have reduced by 10,000 in the last 2 years. Like, come on, dude.
So they went over this back in 2019. And you can go look at CCP Larkin's presentations where he discussed this sort of stuff because people were talking about that back in Blackout too. The God honest truth is that the majority of the people are still playing just as much. Now they are reducing accounts, but the thing is that when we focus on the PCU, you know what disproportionately affects the PCU? Not real people, not people out in space doing stuff, because those people, active things don't necessarily play all day. The time that the PCU is taken is at the peak of the day. So guess what? The bots, multi-box.
Do you actually look at EVE offline and see that it tracks it like by hour? Like it's actually like a graph throughout the day?
You're right. But who is logged in the whole day? Huh? Are we going to get more disproportionate representation from bots?
What the
Can you find me any other source for player count and activity aside from like the massive drop in things like say the velocity of ISK, the market absolutely fucking cratering?
I also
Like
don't
the fact
think
that the
there's
game is like dying slowly around you and people are going, yeah, this is cool, this is fine. I'm going to pay $5 extra a month for this on the promise that a game company that has for the last 3 years basically shit in the sandbox and gone, it's cool, dig around it. Are going to come up with a process. Like, I get you have opinions, but you are coming in here and acting like yours are correct.
This is exactly what they said. No, I'm saying that go look at the statistics. Go look at the presentations from CCB from 2019. Go listen to what they said about what their plans were going to be for the future, because it's exactly what they did. And now we're at the end of it. And so we could all just wait till this weekend to see what's going on, or we can just assume that things are bad.
Yeah, you can say, hey, we gave you a golden goose of a pandemic where people were inside for 2 years. You know what? Let's make the game unfun. That's cool. That's going to really help us meet our bonuses for our owners.
A couple questions. One, I don't think that like there are 4,000 to 5,000 bots that are logged in at once every day. I don't think that is, and if that is true, then we have an entirely different problem on our hands. Also, people getting disparaged because there are people posting on Reddit that the game is bad, and then people thinking, oh, well, I shouldn't like this game. I mean, I personally don't care what other people say. If I like a game, then I'm going to play it. Like,
right.
Yeah, I'm still playing the game because I'm mentally unwell.
This is a difference in degree, and that's the whole point. You can't tell me that right now the public voice about EVE Online is the same as it normally is. Don't give me
it's
that.
definitely not.
Because they're trying to charge us $5 extra a month for no changes and the promise of a fart in the wind.
Stop. The second half of that sentence was a flat out fucking lie. Don't say it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, repeat what part of my line about him, I did.
With no changes.
Yeah, sure. What new content have they made aside from touching stuff in a fucking database?
That price change will happen.
What changes have come out that isn't them changing something in a database?
Team, when you talk over each other, no one can hear you.
Dude, like you are I don't know if you're intentionally trying to like mislead people or whatever, but we know why they haven't told us about stuff. We know why they haven't actually released the new content yet, and we know why they haven't told us what's going to come to justify the $5 if something is.
Yeah, did you actually read that little summary of what they were saying when they were going to raise the price? We're like, oh, this is going to fund the development for the next year. It is on the promise that there's going to be new content for it, and they haven't actually earned that trust from anyone. Like that
Correct.
trust is fucking destroyed. It's been like shit on, and they've taken it and gone, yeah, this is cool. I'm just gonna like make this game painfully unfun for 2 years while you're all inside as a captive audience.
But
I'm a
saying they're
genius.
not going to make any changes is deceptive.
It's not deceptive.
Yeah, could you
What's
point me
changed?
like a direction of a fun change that they've made until very, very recently? And even then, they were very like weird changes. Like, what new content have they made that's sweeping and brand new on the scale of their expansions? Aside from here's a crab beacon that you can just sit there safely and do it in a pass. Here's a battleship buff, which is just a database tweak. Here
They
is.
told us that we were going to get very little content for 3 years. Did you know that? Did you know that they told us
Would
that
you
in
like to know
2019?
why that's a really fucking stupid idea? Because we were a captive fucking audience that they pissed away.
Did you know that all this happened before the pandemic? Also, this does
Keep cutting out, Ash.
this does not address the sorry. Did you know that all of this came before the pandemic, and it still does not change the fact that simply stating it as a fact that they're raising the money, or they're raising the cost without providing anything new, is somewhere between wrong and intentionally deceptive.
Sorry, what new thing are they providing right now as they're upgrading?
They told us when they're going to tell us. So to say outright that there is nothing is to either say that they are lying or you are.
Incorrect.
Well,
Okay,
so
wait, hold
here's
on,
the thing.
Riker, hold on, wait. So what's happening here, Ash, is that you are saying that we have to trust them before we start saying.
No.
Hold on, buddy.
What I'm saying is that you can say that we don't know what it is.
We don't.
Yeah, the promise of a mystery update is not worth $5 a month to many people, my guy.
It's not going to be a mystery update by the time that change happens. So to say that there's going to be nothing to go with it is deceptive.
There's nothing right now.
I'm also, you're missing another point where you're saying
you
people
just
have to trust the company
not
that they have
providing
not.
anything with the upgrade, which is actually patently.
When have you last like smoked a joint, my guy? If not, would you like to?
Why are we talking about drugs?
You are very highly strung.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Overwatch 2. They were like, we're going to stop making content for the really popular game for 3 years, and then we're going to release a sequel, and like nothing actually changed. It's kind of great.
Was Overwatch 2 a sequel? I thought it was just the same game.
Overwatch 2 hasn't even. Whatever.
Yeah, it's in beta.
The beta
Nothing
is out and it's
changed.
disappointing.
There's nothing changed in 3 years. They didn't release any content for
Well,
Overwatch 1.
so back to Eve though. I know Overwatch 2 is probably great. I'm sure it's fantastic. But with Eve, so the thing is though, Ash, is that we are like, you would expect that over the course of a few years you'd get some content. You mentioned that we knew that we weren't going to get any. Don't interrupt me, man. Come on, I won't interrupt you. Just respect me a little bit. So you said we're not gonna. They said that we weren't gonna get any content for a while or something.
Yes, they said that what they need to do first is work on fundamentals.
What do you
mean?
They said it point click space. I'm confused. What are the fundamentals? Economy? Scarcity?
Yeah.
Yeah, it became scarcity.
Okay.
What they were talking about became scarcity.
So basically, you're excusing that because they said they were going to do it. I'm not
excusing it. I'm just saying that that's like, why you can't point to the fact. Okay, if scarcity is their goal, then and scarcity represents removing resources or removing the availability, turning off the faucets. How could you ever? How could it make any sense at all to produce new content during that time that actually provides new resources?
Give me a reason to log in, Asherathi. They didn't.
It was a painful process, I agree. But to pretend
the only reason people logged in was a
coming
war.
to an end is disingenuous.
The war was the only thing that made me play the game.
When we know what it is. But to flat out say that it's not going to be anything at all without knowing it is deceptive.
So here's what's not deceptive. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be worth the extra $5.
That is a fair prediction to make.
So should I basically, continue paying CCP for a game that I no longer feel is worth my money? Because
That's a stupid fucking question. If you don't want to pay for a product, then don't.
Exactly.
Exactly, and I think that's what, like, at least that's why I'm doing it. And I think that that's why a lot of people are doing it, and they're just citing the reason of, well, I haven't gotten any content in a while, and I'm seeing this price update. Okay, it could be something good, and if it is good, then I'll come back for it. But as it stands, like today, right at this moment, there's nothing worth coming back for
So
that
then
we
why
know
are you
about.
on a talk show about Eve, dude? Like, if you're
Hold
not
on.
playing the game,
Because
let
we
people
want
play the
to
game.
come
talk.
back.
play Eve.
If you're not playing the
So-
game, let people who play the game talk.
They literally reacted to that and said that, yes, if you want to make that assessment and you don't want to wait, then that's perfectly fine. If when they have something to show for it, you decide that it's not good enough for you, then that's unfortunate. But you know what? The only thing they can do is try to make something that is worth it. And you get to decide whether or not it is. That's fine. That's how this works. But to say that they're not going to do anything is ridiculous.
I
I
want to
mean,
know.
I pretty much agree with that. So I think we're trying to argue the same point at this point.
We might be. It might be slightly different for each person.
I still think
Slightly.
CCP brought this on themselves with just the atrocious timing. Honestly,
Absolutely.
it's pretty bad.
Well, so hold on. Here's the thing about this announcement.
Dark flashback. Fuck.
Not only is it, not only would it be a bad idea necessarily to put it at a different time, but the timing of this announcement was brilliant. If you are going to have to make this announcement anyways, think about it. This is the most negative announcement that a company could possibly have to make. Hey guys, we're increasing how much you have to pay for the services that we provide. This is never going to be a happy day announcement. But somehow CCP has managed to turn this announcement into an advertisement for Fanfest. If they had announced it during Fanfest, then it would have been part of the calculation and they would have had to talk about it and announce it on stage. If it was after FanFest, then it would cut into all of the good graces and people would think of it as a bait and switch. This was the correct time to announce it.
I mean, I would have
mean,
much rather they announced it at FanFest and had to face a jury of their peers instead of announcing it on a Friday at the end of the Icelandic day, so they'd have 2 days to let the shitstorm cool down before they had to deal with it.
Yeah, I
How
think from
much-
corporate comms
hold
perspective,
on,
they
let me
really
ask you a
fucking
question.
pooch on it.
I want to know something. How much do you think it matters that you're unhappy with the game today?
Not one
None, because
fucking
Icelandics
bit,
don't
dude.
care.
Not even a tiny bit. So why do they care about whether or not they cause any anxiety? In fact, by convincing us that it's going to be terrible, if it is actually great, that actually makes it an even better announcement. Like this is just psychology, man. It makes zero sense for them to well, let me put it a different way. By announcing it now and allowing us to all be, whingy about it when it doesn't matter to anybody, because it's not even a time of a sub between now and when they announced it and when FanFest is coming out. All it does is it makes it so that this announcement is pre-processed and falls into the background. Sure, it is the metric by which every announcement at FanFest is going to now be measured by. But you know what? At least it's not an intrinsic part of the announcement. It's just part of the background. And when you're putting together a major convention in order to try to present news to not just the community, but to the world, which is why you do a convention and get the attention of gaming media, you want to make sure that you have gotten the bad stuff out of the way so that way you can only focus on the good stuff. And that way, instead of saying, oh, yeah, by the way, we're also going to have to charge you $5, at best, or at worst, all they have to say is, this is why we have to charge you $5.
So I'm going to pull out my real world job for a second, right? We had to raise our price by slightly, like 8% in our monthly subscription service. We do sports streaming for like 12 channels and some other shit. To justify that price increase, it was like $3 a month, and for us that was 8%. We had to get the rights back for the Premier League football. That is the most popular football in the world. And
You mean
that was
soccer?
8%. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Gog. And then to get that 8% change in our subscription price for the month-to-month subscription, that was what we had to do to justify it to our client base. This is a 25% increase. If I'm remembering correctly, was it 30? I can't remember. Math bad. That's kind of like the tier of increase like you're looking at here. Like you need to knock this thing out of the fucking park, or it's going to backfire tremendously.
100% agree.
That is
Oh,
something
yeah,
that
no.
someone said in the chat earlier too, is that Eve lives or dies based on this weekend. I think that might be a little
Yeah.
dramatic, but
No, I think it's 100% true.
fuck.
Like, here's the thing. CCP didn't have to do this. Like, they could. I mean, yes, they could. They were already rolling out the other feature changes, the road to FanFest, and all that stuff. They didn't have to sell up FanFest the amount that they did. They didn't have to say that we're going to have 2 years of content. They're not going to. They don't have to say that they're so excited about it or all that sort of stuff. They don't need to exude the amount of confidence that they have if they don't actually have something, right? Like that wouldn't actually serve their best interest, because in the end, it just makes them look bad in front of the world. So at the very least, they seem to at least be confident in what they've got. Now, the real question to me isn't whether or not CCP is being deceptive to us. It's whether or not they're being deceptive to themselves. Are CCP miscalculated how interesting what they've done is? And that is a real risk.
That's a fair point. Also, I just wanted to jump in and say that, like, generally with these types of things, like, at least in my experience, like for the people I've worked for, you don't want to do something that would piss off your player base this much and then just assume that what you have is going to make it all better. Then
They
again,
left too much time between FanFest and this. If they'd announced it the week of, it would have been much smoother over. This is from a, again, corporate perspective, and for years. Like they just have such a ham-handed way of making these announcements. Also, the promised Siege Green patch didn't drop before FanFest. Like
That is really
promised me.
odd.
I'm disappointed.
That is really weird, and I am disappointed in it as well.
And that's again, they keep burning trust. Like I expected that to come up before FanFest, and they said that in their dev blog. And
Well,
I'm like, no.
So one thing I did notice, I didn't really call very much attention to it, but I did notice that by around the time of Siege Green, they started hedging their bets. If you look at the language that they use, they swapped from this is what's going to come out from before FanFest to this is what's coming out at before FanFest and just after or whatever and beyond. So they did like soften their language right about that same time. I still call shenanigans. You're right. I mean, like it would be we didn't get the nullsec changes that they said. We haven't even got the details about that, or at least real details. We never got the. I know that there's at least one other thing I thought that the stuff here, the structure changes and the capital changes that they said. So like, if you go back to the original one that started this road to FanFest, like half of the things that they've said didn't actually manage to make it yet. But that doesn't mean that they aren't going, like that just leaves them available for them to talk about at FanFest.
I mean,
it's not like whatever it is that they were working on disappears. Oh, did I cut off?
No.
Oh,
No, you
okay.
said it just means wait for it at FanFest. I guess.
Right.
That's weird. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. Price increase is fine. Not gonna pay for Eve. Just not play it like I always do. But the craziest thing is that I don't even know what could be at FanFest to make me want to come back.
also there's
A
someone
faction
in
warfare rework.
there's someone in the Drag Me channel.
You can just join if you get the right roles.
Yeah, if
They
you
can't
need
figure
to-
that out. Do we want them in the channel? Is that
One thing-
too much of a hurdle?
One thing that has really bothered me, or one of the things that really stood out to me about all of this, is that, like, you're right. CCP's behavior is kind of bizarre if you look at it from normal evaluations, right? What seems to be true based on just their behavior and what they've said is that they have a distinct expectation that they're going to actually grow the player base significantly by whatever it is that they're coming out, which means that this player base isn't the player base that they're worried about as much. Like if you end up being one of the people that transitions over to the other one, that's fine. But If not, that's fine too, because their expectation is that they're actually going to attract new people and retain them. I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying like that's what their behavior is exposing them believing.
I, for one, have zero faith in CCP's expectations of whatever it is they're working on.
By the way,
Considering scarcity.
if they have less than a 25% subscriber drop, they get more money per month. That's the math of it. So if there's 1,000 players and they still keep above 700, like 750, just to really simplify that math down, then they'll make more money at the end of the day.
Furthermore, I mean, multi-boxing and rampant multi-boxing has been one of the problems. Skill farms have been a problem. So people scaling down the number of accounts that they have, having a feature, quote unquote feature, the price change.
Who have skill farms been a problem for?
Skill
That's a
farm's
whole
probably one of
topic.
the things that have kept the lights on for them, to be honest.
I'm gonna be real. If I'm going to be able to play the game with one account and make it comfortably with one account, I'm 100% on board. If they're gonna bring in a whole lot of new people, but here's the
You
thing:
can make ISK comfortably with one account right now.
Right, but what if it's not just about making ISK, it's about doing things?
I mean, the game is about making it do things. Like, it's primary,
I mean, not
make
forever.
ISK, and then do things.
But my point is that the idea, the rampant multi-boxing isn't necessarily something to protect or destroy, but it is a symptom of problems with the game design, right? People shouldn't, in
100%.
an MMO, feel like it is like multi-boxing is usually a very extreme thing for people that want to push themselves to be able to like do the job of two different people at the same time. It is not supposed to be a way to just replace all your friends. But in EVE Online, because of a lot of bad design details, big and small, it is actually advantageous to you to just multi-box it rather than to make a friend. And so ultimately, CCP needs to make it so you don't want to multi-box, not that you can't.
Whoa. But people really like multi-boxing.
You think of the situation.
Do they though? Do they really
on.
like the multi-boxing, or do they like the increased rewards from multi-boxing?
I like multi-boxing.
This guy's trying to jump in.
challenging.
He was really quiet. Rots, you're really quiet, dude.
Look, sometimes you just need to activate all of your syndromes at once and multi-box 10 carriers at once.
Some parts of this game aren't very high octane. I like doing it with more than one character.
Right,
Yeah,
and
like-
It's not like a Twitch shooter game, right, where I gotta focus
Sure.
on my one guy.
so like mining, for example, it's always been true that like the idea of the team, like the multi-boxing, the guys who multi-boxed 8 Hulks and an Orca or whatever back in 2011, like this, the gameplay of trying to see how many saucers you can keep spinning in the air is absolutely valid. But the problem is that we've actually transitioned to a multi-boxing that's more based on overwhelming and therefore undermining mechanics and experiences rather than actually making it more exciting and interesting. I'm not saying everybody, and if you are doing it in order to challenge yourself, then absolutely great. But if you're doing it in a bunch of roll calls, then you're not doing it to challenge yourself. You're doing it to make money.
And what's wrong with that?
I'm saying that it shows a flaw in the game itself.
That doing something twice is more effective than doing it once?
I think the only real flaw with multi-boxing is just that basically you have to do it for like capital gameplay. It's kind of dumb, but whatever.
Given the opportunity, a player will optimize the fun out of their own game. It is part of game design to protect a player from themselves.
It would own if the game was slightly more active for mining, so it wasn't actually multi-boxable.
So people would make less than no money mining. Like, I don't know if y'all have mined recently. There ain't no money in it.
Literally
Because
mining right now.
everyone's multi-boxing, Jeremy.
I'm solo boxing mining right now.
Yeah.
Jeremy, the reason why you're making no money is because they doubled the moon go on moons and then made it so it's really easy just to sit 10 barges on a moon.
You know what's also going to happen is it's going to be even more harder. It actually might go up in price because it's going to be harder to flex your account.
And then you would make more money off mining because you're the only one mining. Please think about this.
I don't think about anything.
Activate your syndromes. You can do it.
Yeah, there's always a second half of that equation in the game and with a player-driven economy.
Yeah, except bots. This bots will make more money. That's always how it is, ain't it?
Right, which is the real problem here, right? Like the fact that there are optimal path activities that end up making real players indistinguishable from bots is one of the real actual core issues.
I was mining over the weekend.
Okay.
What's your point here, Greg?
He was mining. He
People
wants you to
besides
know.
bots do that.
I've never mined. There, that's my point.
So no,
I
what
just
Ash
put out a
is saying
video
is
today
that,
entitled "Why You Should Mine."
is that the content is so brain dead that literally anybody can do it and make money.
Not
from
just
it.
brain dead. Not just brain dead, because brain dead would imply that like there's actually a way to do it that's better. What I'm saying is that the optimal path ends up regressing to these terrible strategies.
Actually, the optimal crabbing strategy right now in this game is control Botchfin. But that's a different
Right,
topic.
Oh,
very active, active and very small subset that get to do that.
I think you just do the fucking.
Horde is not a small subset of the
You
game.
just do the
Horde
pots
gets
crab
bullied out of
beacons, right?
Parchment all the time, so
Yeah, Horde is not actually good at Pochman. They just have a shitload of people, right?
Well, that's the Goonswarm strategy, so.
we don't talk
Yeah.
about Pochfin on this show.
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
a Podchfin?
So
Pochfin
what's your
is a bad ISK. It's a terrible region.
Botchfin's correct.
Agreed.
Buff it.
Agreed.
The
Shit
actual-
is.
Hold on.
It needs to be
Have you
actual
looked at the
optimal way
MER
to
of
make money.
Pochfin? Have you seen the
Ishtars.
destruction stats? It does more destruction than like most of the nullsec. It's like
Have you
the
considered that's a
sixth.
bad thing? Because nullsec should have way more destruction.
I actually
You're
agree. Yeah.
You're right. It's a bad thing that anywhere else has advantages. You're right. But you can't both say that
Pretty sure that's not what he said.
Pochfin is useless and say that it's
Holy
that it
shit.
doesn't work, that it has
Why
more
are you like
attraction.
He's not
this?
being serious.
Ashrafi,
It wasn't
please
serious.
don't
Pochfin is-
reveal the secret, okay?
Ash,
Would you
Pochfin-
reveal the secret of Bush's baked
So-
beans?
So I
Real
will say
But
I will.
don't release the secrets of Eve's baked beans, okay?
Oh no, he's
So-
arrived.
So last I checked, just having Horde
He's gone.
controlling all of
Okay, he's gone.
Pochfin and making it so that no other groups can like go and do stuff and just like dominating that spot. Okay, well that's great, but like that's just content that more people don't have access to unless they're in Horde.
The
Yeah,
actual
great.
best
Well, I mean,
way to
that's
make
what I
this
meant by a
is to
small subset.
bully
Like-
Horde off of Parchment sites and then watch them cry about it.
Like that to me
For the-
doesn't sound like good gameplay.
Horde only shuts out the people that aren't super organized and skilled and rich already, right?
For
Yeah.
the
That's basically
record,
all they do.
Horde basically set a skill floor that you need to meet to go into Parchment. The actual real way to make ISK is to sit your super carrier right on the edge of a POS bubble and then do crab beacons.
That's
I
the
agree.
fraternity way of
Risk-free.
making money.
Yeah, just do crab beacons. It's literally like, what
the
do you
evidence
want
shows
to do?
that no matter how much Horde thinks that they're controlling it, they're not actually controlling it nearly as much as they think they are.
No,
And
they're not.
But that's what I meant by a small subset. I wasn't trying to disparage Horde and saying that they're a small group. What I'm saying is that this small group gets to now capitalize on Pochfin where the most of the population doesn't. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like the
doesn't
most
feel
of
like
the
good game
population's
design.
problem to me.
Well, there's different.
It's not
I mean,
really
like
game design. It's just
only
a
a sm-
function of Horde wanting to do it, so they can.
there's only a small subset of people that are controlling in C6 space. There's only a few subset of people that are able to own the best region in SOV or whatever. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, yes, any given one thing is a small subset. That's why Eve has so many different things, and they're not more important than each other, which is why it's not a bad thing. By it just intrinsically that the Pochfin region has more destruction than nullsec regions.
I mean,
that's
Because you have
fine.
to undock and you can't be on tether to make money.
I think
You
it's
can't be on a
objectively
palace.
very funny that Pandemic Horde makes people adopt cadets to do ECM for them and pays them out per site. Very funny.
I mean,
I've
it's
killed a few
great-
cadets today, man. It feels good.
It is a good way to distribute money to new bros so it doesn't get concentrated in one like super rich mass. No one else.
No,
being
I
able to
just
break
think it's
in.
objectively funny. I
There's
don't. I
nothing I
understand
enjoy
the
more.
justification behind it, but I think it's very funny that they have to hire in newbies in armor tanked scorps with a full mid slots full of jams.
There's
Just so they
nothing
can
I
try and
enjoy
contest
more
sites.
than killing cadets.
You
man.
know, you know what I find funny? I find funny that we're sitting there talking about how, like, CCP, not today, but like we've heard so much about how CCP needs to provide content drivers and that they haven't done that. And yet Pochfin, which has become this amazing story of emergent gameplay of different factions and different groups taking over in different ways, and continuing to struggle. Yeah, Horde's current
Mate.
thing is the current situation, but it's been an ongoing story,
When we
and that
say
has
3
created
years,
conflict.
Don't
When we say
let him
3
let him
years-
fall into the trap. Let him fall into the trap. Keep going,
God.
Ashtarothi. Keep going.
Yeah,
that
keep
was the end
going.
of that sentence.
Oh shit.
When we
Okay,
say
trap
3
him.
years, Parchment was the last thing added to the game, my friend.
Parchment was less than 2 years ago.
It was not.
Parchment was
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It
Parchment
wasn't.
is
an old
Parchment is
man.
a year and a half ago. The 1 year anniversary of Totality was last October.
There has been no new
It was
content
the
for
like
a
tree
year and a
invasions and
half.
shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Before that, we had Chapter 3 invasions. Before that, we had Chapter 1 and 2 invasions. Before that,
Yeah,
we had a
that was like the last actual content for the
correct.
game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
there hasn't been any
1 and
significant
1/2
significant being
years.
the key.
Significant is not the key.
That
Any
still
No,
feels.
is
my
the
point is
key.
that they have come out with content, but it hasn't been significant. That's
And
what
it
I
hasn't
stressed.
been new. Nothing
1.5
has been
years
new.
is still a lot.
Hold on, aren't they? We can't redline. This week is supposed to be like the largest content
Hold
ever up to the game.
Prove
No.
it.
No, hold
I
on.
can't wait.
You're actually wrong, though. Like
Who?
you can.
How do you know?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It may not. Like I said, the content wasn't relevant. People didn't really key into it, but it is new. There's new mechanics. There's new features. There's new pieces to these dungeons that they've released.
I don't think there's
Like-
new mechanics involved. I think they're the
Really?
exact same.
giant landmines outside of the SEC gates that we've never seen before this.
We've never seen landmines?
Not like that.
Oh,
In the
I
old
see.
game.
What are you
there was,
talking? Like, hold on. The SEC. I don't actually.
Right. Most
I'm
people
telling
don't
you.
even know the content that's come out. They just say that they didn't come out with any. So we have three. We have the SEC key sites. We have the capital construction yards. We have the rogue drone sites in
Oh, you
Pochven.
talking about those exploration sites?
The SEC and the capital shipyard
Listen.
are both Marauder.
Reserve bank stuff isn't really that
The
interesting, to be
ESS
honest
stuff,
with you.
right?
No one runs
Yeah,
them
the
though.
ES. Yes, I that's what I just said.
Because the capital, like, they're just not worth it from what when it originally came out.
So
100%,
what you're saying,
100%.
Ash, you're correcting us because we're saying that they haven't put out any new content, and what we should be saying is that they've only put out relatively bad content.
Insignificant content. The content itself
Relatively
is actually
bad.
no, because the people that have actually engaged with
pointless.
the people that have engaged with the content have found it pretty interesting. It's just it's not rewarding, and so people can't actually risk the amount
So
that it
it's-
is to do
I
it.
wonder if the
It's
3 people
interesting,
that
but
find
not
that content interesting would be willing to come on the show sometime.
This is why I said not significant. That was the distinction I'm trying to make. And
I
the
was just
reason why
making
I
a
was
joke, dude.
the reason there was a point I was trying to get to with that, which is that the reason why they did it this way is, as I said earlier, if you're in the middle of scarcity, you literally cannot come out with significant content because the entire point is to force people to actually go without things for a while in order
So
for
you
us
just
to
don't undock?
force us to burn through our stockpiles and stuff. Sure, some people didn't undock, but
I mean,
the point is that those things, the new event site, the events that we've gotten over the last year, the SEC sites, the dreadnoughts, the crab beacon, these were all, and they have straight up said this, tests. They were experiments, or they're tinkering with the components that become the content. They've been working on content for 3 years, but they haven't been able to release much of any of it because of scarcity.
So is this speculation or is this something you know?
I mean,
he's back.
All right, I have to go to a work meeting because we live in a society. I would like to introduce you to Slavbach, my dude's ball. Before I go,
My favorite dude.
he's my favorite dude.
My dudes.
I
I
sleep
What's
with
up,
them.
dude?
I just wanted to interject really quickly. I've been crunching the numbers here in my basement for a couple of weeks now, and I think they really need to just buff asset safety. I think that'd fix all of our problems, my dudes.
God, I hate you.
Now that was
Thank you,
intentional.
Slav.
That was intentional.
Listen, I've run the numbers. You can take it from me. It would fix all of the problems. Pop would spike by 300%
Have
overnight.
rocks
It'd be
for
beautiful.
brains, though. So
Was Fernock Doran just banned? Was he banned?
Was he
Where?
banned?
In Twitch chat.
yes, he was.
Why, man?
I don't know.
You can't ban him like that. That's fucked up.
It looks like
What
we
did he
can.
say?
It looks like we can.
Folks, I'm doing RMT right now, and if you want tips on how to do RMT, I have a great way where you can both do RMT and make money doing RMT.
I mean,
Wait, what?
That's what he said.
Why would he say that? That
I
sounds like
don't
a
know.
bot.
hold on. If you don't ban somebody for saying stuff like that, then the channel could be active. Like you're now becoming the platform in which somebody's able to spread that message, and the responsibility now falls on you.
Oh, Lord.
It's obviously a joke.
No.
The RMT
All-
tool.
Free Fernok Dorn.
We can't do it. Against the rules. Not until Raptious Day.
Oh,
He
Rapture
speedran
Day, Blue Fillet.
the speed run, the get banned from Dweedon Post any percent run, man. He hit the world record.
How fast was it? First post?
Cheers.
It was pretty fast, man.
First post, right?
Isn't it? Let's see.
Yeah, one message was.
It's not hard to get
What a
banned.
fucking hero. He got banned in like 3 seconds.
First post got banned. Wow, nice.
He's the best to ever do it, man.
Anyways.
For the record, I'm not saying banning anybody based on their opinions. What I'm saying is that RMT is not an okay thing. And if
It
you're going
is
to
an
argue
okay
that, then you need to be in a different game.
Oh my God.
Ash, no one thinks RMT is
Please,
a thing.
man. I
Unless
can't.
Cable. You can go
Bro,
debate
listen.
Cable Utama in
Listen.
the CSM Discord.
Listen to me, all right, Ash.
Listing.
We're
listing.
as much as make sure you put the T in that word. It's important. Anyways, listen. If anybody gave a fuck about RMT, my dude, then Cable would have been banned. Instead, more people are working with Cable than worked with Cable before because no one gives a literal shit about it. At
My
all.
dudes, my dudes.
But people get banned for RMT.
Prove
So, what do you? What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This is actually a good show. I'm surprised.
I'm sorry. Are you bringing that into question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Again,
is exactly what he is doing, stir.
Okay, fine. Let me look into what I can figure out on the fly.
All right. Thank you.
What he can just make up. He's gonna Google people that haven't been on
Well, you
Google
can
for
make
10
up on the
years.
fly. Let's correct that first.
Google.com. People
So I'm
banned
gonna
for
crunch the numbers
RMT.
on RMT bans.
Does he have a new car or no?
See, here's
That's
the
cute.
problem, right? So, we're talking about RMT, but like, I don't
Yep.
know, a month and a half ago, CCP was just doing RMT. They were just selling
That's
shit
true.
for money. They
That's-
still are.
That's
But
pretty
that's
true,
okay.
actually. Yeah.
They can
If you
RMT,
can't-
but I
if you
fucking
don't- hold on,
can't.
hold-
And CCP. I
Yes,
think we need to ban CCP.
If CCP
agree.
can't RMT, then you can't pay for a subscription. Let's not be stupid.
What?
When
But
can I
one
sell
is
my
stupid, I'm
ship
a
to
goat.
Paying CCP for access to things, dude. Like if you say that CCP can't RMT, then like of course, like that's the whole point. That's why RMT is a problem, is because that's a venue, like that is the avenue of the company that produces the game, and
Ash-
having players being able to do it has profound problems with the game.
Where did Rain go?
Ash,
Rain
he
left
put a little
earlier.
gummy worm out in a hook there for you. He wiggled it out in front of you there, and you just bit down on that.
I'm
gummy
going to be
worm.
honest with you,
Enjoy
Astro.
my-
Ash, you're
I
being
enjoy
trolled.
Strowman.
I actually
Yeah.
think RMT is a good thing.
Owned.
All right,
Owned.
pay to earn.
Yeah.
Pay
No,
to
I
earn,
actually
exactly.
Play to earn.
I
Pay
think
to
people
earn.
should be allowed
No, play
to make
earn,
money
yeah.
off the game.
You know what?
Didn't
You know what?
Diablo 2
I
have a big
agree
Do you
with
understand how,
Ken. I
how
can
much
get
that would
behind this.
affect?
No,
Like, we already have
because
a problem with people like putting ISK over their own gameplay.
think about it, Ash, right? I think that like the people that make money off this game are incentivized to keep playing it, right? And you want those people in the game because they add content, right? Like people want Cable around because he RMTs.
I don't think we want him around because he RMTs. I don't want him around really at all.
Yeah,
Come
me
on,
neither,
man.
Honestly,
Come
But
on.
I know
it's-
he called my friend a
neither here nor
rapist.
there.
Disturbingly
So.
false on multiple ways.
How is it false?
So guys, listen. I'm gonna
Prove
let
to me that people want Cable around.
I'm gonna let the
I'll
Discord
prove
go
it to you.
off
Let me
for a little
open
bit.
Google. People that like Cable Uta.
Yes,
Give me a
make it
second.
thing.
People don't like Cable. They like Cable's money.
But I need
Hello,
your guys'
I
help.
like money.
I need you
We're
guys
alone.
to help me.
2.4 million results. So I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Oh my
I
god.
need you to help me make a bingo card. I know it's super bright. I'm sorry about that. Is it super bright? I hope you weren't
I-
in your
I guess-
bedroom on your laptop,
Yeah, my
chilling
eyes are
in
burning,
bed
man.
in the
I'm
dark.
suffering.
This is FanFest Bingo. I'll make it better.
So on 1 year ago, Richmond on your website posted a
Whose?
thing in which
My
CCP
website?
Wait,
on
content as a
Winch-
website?
this channel's website, New Eden
Bro,
Post.
content as a
Oh,
website.
shit. I
Holy
own the
shit,
Eden
guys.
Can I
Post.
finish my
Oh
point, or
my
are you just
God.
going to try to like talk over it? 42,000 issued bans at this point, based
Proof?
on this.
Can I have proof?
What do you want for proof? Besides,
Give me
like,
proof.
so
Just damn it to me, and I'll look it over.
I guarantee you that we'll get more proof tomorrow or this weekend when it comes to like showing off graphs and
Are
stats.
we gonna get
Somebody
a new
gonna
pie
get
chart of
banned?
shame?
Somebody's gonna get banned at
Ash,
FanFest?
let me
No, but one
me
of the
help you
things
out
that they
here,
do if you look on the schedule, there's a
Okay.
security panel. One of the things
Oh.
they do is show
Oh.
the statistics on the kind of things like how many accounts they've banned.
Okay, okay. But then
That's
where
not
do they
gonna
get
be
those
on the
numbers
main
from?
Stage, right? That's
Are
gonna
you
be
asking
do you
where
actually trust the
CCP?
numbers?
Are you asking
Just
where
because they put
CCP
it on a
gets the
graph, you
numbers of
trust the
how many
numbers?
accounts that they have banned?
Yeah, I
Are you
am.
suggesting to me that CCP might not know how many accounts that they themselves
Yes.
are banning?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Take a
mean,
look at the link I
saying.
provided
Actually,
in.
and if you're gonna have,
records?
I mean, at that point, you're right. Like you've basically denied
Fanfest.
reality at that point. So
Okay,
whatever.
thank you. Yes, I fulfilled my duty as a
So
goon.
if you deny reality, then the goons can be right, which is a typical statement.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
man.
See, he gets it.
All right. Well, I mean, okay, fine.
You fucked us,
Ash,
bro.
let me
You
let me
fucked
let you onto a
us.
secret. Goons are here to just like make you mad and not play the game. Just don't engage with goons and just counter troll them. Don't. give
Yeah,
them
see?
What's
time.
funny is that even the Matani, when he was asked about all of this, his response was, when he was asked, "What do you think about the $5 change?" His response is, "I'm sitting on my hands waiting for FanFest because because CCP said that there's more coming and we don't know what it is." Why does the fearless leader say that, but yet the goons say things like, "There's nothing coming"?
Nobody
we
said
know.
there's nothing coming.
I'm
You
pretty
just-
sure.
This
Cryo
entire
did.
thing started
Did he?
because somebody said that they was increasing the price by $5 and putting nothing in for it.
I mean, if
So,
you
hold
if you
on,
want
hold
the
on, hold
actual
on.
reason,
Because we're all goons, we all have to have the same ideas.
no,
That's my
there is
bad.
an actual reason why he said that, though. He said that because he knows that if he gets up in arms, that we're all going to get up in arms, right? So he has to wait and see.
Has not prevented him or dissuade him in any way in the past.
No, I know, but that's literally what he said. He said he has to wait and see because he doesn't have any proof or any evidence of what's
Dude,
going on.
We all have.
He said it's baffling, but he has to wait and see.
Because if he gets up in arms and a bunch of people quit the game, he has to go find a job again.
All I'm saying is that it's a bit
Sheesh.
premature to just simply state as a fact that they have nothing.
I mean, I don't think they have nothing. I just think it's going to
I
be shit.
do.
I just think it's going to be shit. That's all.
No, that is a fair prediction to have. And you know what? You have good reason to have it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to keep playing the game. I'm just going to unsub a bunch of accounts. That's not a big deal. I want other people to keep playing the game, though, or else I won't have a reason to play it.
I think that there are a couple of really significant nightmare scenarios that could come out of FanFest, but them coming out and saying, we have no content for you actually is not one of them.
I mean, so we got to
No.
add the FPS to the bingo, right?
Astraldi,
so.
let's be clear here. They think they're going to
Really?
be providing content.
Wait, Don, are
It will not be
you
content.
Billy in disguise today?
No.
Dawn is like anti-Villy.
Yeah, but she said the Billy words.
I mean,
She
Dawn.
did.
Can you add Dust 515 to the bingo
Okay,
card, please?
hold
That
up.
was the
You
other thing I
said
wanted
so
to say
what?
Excuse me,
came in.
excuse
Can
me,
we
it's
please
Dust-
not use the 515 joke? Like that is.
Yeah, it's Dust 10. What is it? 10. 28.
It'll be Dust 5142 if
To be-
anything.
Dust
to be clear.
515.
No,
10.
it's 514. Like the number means
515.
something.
1028. It is 10.
It'll be
Five
Don
on five.
Shadow Legends.
I'm not tracking a sequel to Dust.
I mean,
Alright. So I
So
need
I
you
will
guys
say
to help
this.
me make the bingo, okay? So I'm just gonna say it. You in the Discord, y'all don't have to help me. It's okay. I'm just talking to the chat. Chat, I need you to help me make the bingo. And if you guys in the Discord want to help, you can do it in the chat too. We're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna do this together as a family. All right. Going. NFTs.
Do you want?
pretty dysfunctional
so-
family.
For the record, that is one of the nightmare scenarios, right? Like if they come out and their big pitch is something involving the pay to earn model or crypto or anything like that is actually one of the nightmare scenarios if that's the exciting thing that they have. I don't think it is. It may be a component somewhere, but I doubt it. So there is one thing about the shooter that I wanted to correct myself on, because I've come on here a few times and said stuff. So I wanted to correct something. In the past, I have said that I didn't believe that the scope videos were made in Unreal. That is no longer true. I have pretty good evidence that those things are made in Unreal, which now tells me that
What?
most of the effort. Oh yeah, it's 100% made in
Who?
Unreal. All of the scope videos, they're made in
Who
Unreal.
asked?
Yeah, who asked? I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad you did.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Why do we care where it's made?
Because it represents what kind of effort the scope videos over the last year or 2 years have represented, like a progression of complexity and like the stuff that they're doing. Like at first it was just a person standing there talking, and now there's a person walking around, and now you're having whole groups walking, fighting on a station hangar, and CCP Homar saying, "Oh, look at these NPCs walking in stations," right? Like, so I was saying that because of the fact that it wasn't done in Unreal, this represented an effort being done in client. So we could be seeing a return of ambulation, or as many people say,
Walking in stations
in client.
Yes!
However, with this new discovery, I am now more in the camp of whatever this is going to be more in the direction of a separate new thing done in Unreal. Or I guess you could say that, like, the pie in the sky, I don't think this is true, but could be technically, is that what they announce is that they are actually relaunching the entire game to now have an Unreal client, so that way they can do cool stuff. I don't think that that's
Can you
true,
repeat
because
that,
a lot
please?
of the technical development that they've done doesn't seem to reflect that. Like, why would you go through so much effort to do DirectX 12 and 64-bit client if you're just going to replace the engine completely? So I don't think that's it. But like, otherwise, I think that what they're going to do is really expand the IP, and so the ambulation, the out of the pod stuff, as it were, is going to be done in Unreal more likely than not.
And it's probably gonna suck.
It's gonna suck.
Depends on what you like.
Not that.
Well, you don't even know what it is. It could
I
be
already
a shooter.
know.
It could be an RPG. It could be L.A. Noir. You have no idea.
When was the last time CCB had a good idea other than like the Siege Green changes, right? I thought those were actually okay.
Hold on. We don't know if that's a good idea yet, Biggs. While it looks like a good idea, it hasn't actually released yet.
That is true. Where the fuck are our changes, man?
Also, I want to make
think
sure
Invasions was a pretty cool idea.
I want to make sure that everybody who's trying to play bingo knows that the goal is to win the bingo, because if you win the bingo, that's how you get the plex. So you want to get stuff on the bingo card. You're saying all this shit, it's not gonna happen.
So what, you're gonna do a bingo card, but we only get anything if like the bingo card gets filled out?
So I've got my 4 big guesses if you want. If you want the easy spots on the bingo card.
Yeah, give us easy spots.
So, faction warfare, NPE, PI, and shooter in quotes. Those would be 4 blocks that I would say are pretty high probability of getting covered.
I had
so
2 of
after
those.
all things, earlier tonight when I suggested faction warfare, it was getting a thing. They said they didn't understand what needed to be reworked about it.
No, please.
So I have actually made like a longer video about this, but the short of it is that the problem with faction warfare isn't necessarily mechanics.
Oh, thank God he cut out. Oh my God. Whew. I was really worried there for a moment.
Cut out, Ash. We didn't hear what you
Saved.
said.
Ooh. Wow. Saved by internet. Holy shit.
No, it's not even internet. It's about context. So, the introduction of campaigns, the fixing of the backwards reward structure, things like that are more like the big things that would actually quote unquote fix faction warfare. Mechanically, the process of actually like fighting over systems and fighting in plexes is really solid, and they've actually done quite a bit to fix it over the last couple of years. It's the context that's still missing or broken.
Can we put some bullshit about the war on the bingo card? Like, oh, look at this cool
Oh
thing
yeah,
our
M2
players
is
did.
gonna be there or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah,
So-
see, that kind of shit. That's what I'm looking for. So,
Soft
something
changes.
about the war.
So, but also, oh god, yeah, no, absolutely, they're going to talk about the war during the keynote.
Something,
But,
something Belvor.
One of the things I am interested in is the being able to control your space more that they talked about with nullsec during the Road to Fanfest stuff. I mean, I've always thought that what they're going to do is create new like observatory like things that allow you to not the observatories to like get rid of cooking,
Alliance
but
tournament.
I mean like Edencom observatories where it puts out a weather effect to everybody in the system, or it changes what resources are available in that system.
Can you imagine being able to put like a permanent anti-cloaky camping storm in like your staging system?
That, I mean, it could be. What if there's a thing that made it so that there was no cloaky at all, but bounties are down by 5%? Would people actually decide to choose that?
Because the DBS in a staging system is like 170% at all times for an active staging. So you get the negative 5%, and then you just don't give your enemies intel. That's an obvious choice to make as an alliance. That is a Jeremy
Makes it an
Underdario.
interesting choice because there are other conditions that might make people. I mean, like that's my. What if there's other things that you? What if there's an opportunity cost? What if there's other features that you could have had, but you can't because you chose this one?
In this game, if you put something like that in like your staging system, there's almost nothing else besides making all of the anomalies despawn. That would probably make it better. Like it'd have to be some radically
Right.
bad.
Well, no, different things will be better for different kinds of systems. You're specifying staging systems, but you would customize multiple systems in likelihood, right? Like, oh, this is the system that we make it so that Veldspar spawns in, and this is the system. Our border systems make our our strategies tank stronger.
But will it
based?
Will it generate passive income? Is the question.
God, I hope not. No, I'm just kidding.
Passive income, man. We need some passive income back in this game.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that. Like, I don't agree with the whole like moon mining should go back to passive thing for various reasons, but I do agree that the idea of passive income could be reintroduced in some way.
I love Athenors. I love Athenors.
You put a Poco down, the Alliance gets attacked based on the people who live on the planet. If it's like a habitable planet.
Can you imagine like Athenors having passive income added to them? Like
I
in
love
a module
Athenors.
that's like really expensive or something.
And then imagine you could
rig?
anchor a module that would suck some of the enemy's moon goo out of their Athenor.
There's nothing I love more than shooting Athenors.
And sucking someone up. Wait, what?
Well, there's the destructive crystals.
The fuck?
Yeah, the new PI on the app is definitely one of them. There's
Oh
PI
my
in
God.
general, but PI on the in an app is specific.
Can you
PI that
imagine?
is please.
Oh, y'all got to hear the yelling timber because of the bits.
But I have the stream muted.
I forgot about that. Sorry. I'm filling out this bingo card pretty
One of the things-
substantially.
Echoes, I think, is actually like they might mention it, but it's got a low likelihood because I would have expected more like talk on the Eve Echoes side about FanFest, but I don't think they've even mentioned it. So I really don't think that Echoes has anything to show at FanFest.
Echoes, from what I understand, is not like Rain did a lot of it. But from what I understand, it kind of died off because there's no like integration with real Eve. And what happens is the Chinese just log in essentially and just roll everyone in their time zone because of the predominant player base.
That's a giant kettle of fish, but
yes,
Echoes has some problems, but it's also probably doing okay. One of the biggest problems with Echo is that like as problematic as PCU is as a metric, it's still more than Echoes has. Your assessment in Echoes is literally just wandering around and see how many people are in local.
Okay, there are about 1,000, actually 12,000 people playing Eve Echoes.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
Wow.
Well,
Hold on, where did you get that number? How'd you get that number?
I just Googled it and it was the first result.
Hold on, hold
Amazing.
on. Is that
We
I love it,
how
dude.
accurate is that? Hold on.
Can you
I don't
cite
know.
your
We don't
sources,
know,
please?
Ashtarothi. It's fucking Google, man. What do you mean? How accurate is it?
He's the one looking at it. Like, is it
Cite your
based on an
sources,
API?
my friend.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up, but no, I'm not questioning. I'm excited by that information because if there
Content.
is actual information,
Oh, hold
about
on.
the-
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Are you watching the stream, content?
It's wrong. Yeah, I'm watching it, dude.
All right, watch. This is amazingly funny.
Okay.
Armor hat. Armor hat.
Oh, perfect.
Is that good for you?
Yeah, that looks good. Looks perfect.
Awesome.
This is a really hard bingo card to fill out. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta make. I want to make like. So I
New
want some hard
faction
ones
or
on
new
there,
faction
right?
chips.
But like everybody's putting like their fucking FanFest wish list on the bingo card. Like, dog, I don't know what you think is gonna happen. Like, the point of bingo is to win, but no one's gonna fucking win.
What's that pirate capital ship people want? Put that in.
Angel.
The
new pirate
the
ships.
faction rag.
not just capital. It's not the Angel Titan.
The Angel Titan, yeah, throw
the
that
Angel
on there.
Angel
But no, you know what?
Yes.
Okay, fine, you can put it on there, but it probably won't be covered. But you know what might be covered? Hold on. New pirate ship line, Mimitar Caldari ship line. Like, they have actually, like, this current plot that they've been going over for the last 4 months is establishing a new pirate smuggling group that is a union of Caldari and Thucker, which makes it perfect to be the new pirate faction that produces the new Mimitar Caldari ship line that everybody's been asking for
They
forever.
called Kadari Thuckers.
Okay, put drifters up there. There you go.
Cuckers.
Put drifters.
Oh God.
Caldarian thuckers and
How-
cuckers.
And put Jita 44 as attacked on there too.
Oh, that's.
I need drifters, man.
Oh, I have an idea. Hold on.
Joe 44.
Project
Just
Discovery.
remove high sec, guys.
Ooh.
No more high sec.
I concur.
Only all of high sec is turned into low sec. All of low sec is turned into null sec. All of null sec stays the same.
All of nullsec
That
is
is the
all
posh.
opposite of what you would do if
Turns
you
into
were
Podge.
team players.
No,
All of
yes,
null
all
sec
of
is
null sec
Podge
turns
fin.
into parchment. Yes.
Thank you.
Wait,
Imagine
have
if
people?
every nullsec system was just Podge.
Okay,
no
so
local.
someone said that there's posts
Blackout?
about people's BO
Yeah, Blackout.
already, so that's good. It's a
Yeah.
good bingo square then.
1,000 OFs at a time? Holy shit, dude, I can't.
Heavy bomb. We could also put the heavy bomb on there because that's one of the
Oh
things
my
that we
God.
haven't actually gotten.
I'm just okay. I'll
Where's
put
my
that-
drifter square, dude?
If you really want to go wild, you could put on something crazy like a capital abyss.
Drifter's actually something that was teased.
Drifters are possible,
All right, I'm just
Drifters
gonna
are
put-
always
but it really
possible.
looks more like this is going to be like a more mundane war between empires
So-
and pirate factions.
This next square is a quote from the Mittani circa
The Matana.
2019.
Okay.
Okay. What is it? Read it to me.
We get to see it?
Yeah, it's going on.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting.
You have to unpause the stream, brother.
It's not paused, it's just delayed. Maybe it's like really delayed. Hold on.
Yeah, I think you might have broken something.
You're still typing drifters for me, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what that was the quote.
That's the quote? Drifters. Damn.
Yeah, that's the quote.
That's a banger right there. That's going on my wall.
The sorrowful brother makes his way home, or the little brother makes its sorrowful way home, and he is not welcome.
Yeah.
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 Lore revamp.
You know, that one bingo
yes.
square carries more like meaning than anything Ashtarothi has said so far.
Oh, I know. Role playing.
Well, not just that, but
We need a role players square, man.
newer revamp missions.
I love
more likely than
role-playing.
you think.
Do you have
I'm doing
cat
my
ears on there
best.
yet?
I
Oh,
don't-
please put cat ears on there.
Yeah, cat ears needs to go up for sure.
Where am I typing? Cat ears.
Bottom.
Alright. Hack nerfs. Well, that includes. We'll put hack nerfs in there. Do you think they're gonna announce any nerfs at FanFest? They can't.
No.
Can they? Like, if they announce a
No.
nerf to anything,
Structure
it'll
nerfs. They're
literally
not
be the
structure
end.
nerfs.
Structure nerf.
Only
If
if
they
it's
announce only
if by
set it
doing
on
so it's a
nerfs are
giant cheer
acceptable.
thing. So like they could announce, for instance, nerfing and Celebics jump gates, and that might go over okay.
And Syllabex.
And syllabus. But no. So they can nerf citadels. and that's pretty much it.
They did.
No, they need to nerf them more. Those nerfs weren't
It's-
good enough. We need more nerfs now.
I feel like we should make it so there are no timers anymore for like the next maybe month or so, and then put the timers back.
I do believe that one of the things that's missing with structures is the idea of the straunt, and more importantly, if you don't straunt your structures, then there is no timer.
Okay, yeah, get fucked, G-Soul.
I also really don't like that the new system puts the control of like when the structure comes out of reinforcement in the attacker's hands. Like they've said it
Kinda
isn't.
has
Maybe
to.
I don't understand, but it has. It's not that way right now.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, in the attacker's hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry, I
So
misunderstood.
yeah, because the timer, if you look, it's no longer at a certain time of day, give or take time. It's in a certain amount of time, give or take time, which means when you hit it will determine when it will come out, or at least help determine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a vulnerability window.
No, there's no vulnerability window.
Gee,
That's the point. Like you
means
strip away the
destruction.
shields, and then a day and a half later, it comes out of
Oh, yeah,
reinforcement.
yeah,
So you choose
right.
when it comes out. because
Right. I'm not much of a structure guy, I'll be honest with you.
This is the terrible bingo card, dude. This is the worst bingo card.
This
I've
is pretty
ever
bad. You could throw Fozzie Solve up there.
Yeah,
we don't
Solve rework.
Fozzie Solve actually. Yeah.
battle pass.
Play to earn.
We got NFTs on there. That kind of counts, right?
Sure.
No.
Oh,
Eve
the new
coin.
mobile game. Eve coin?
VR game? Holy shit. That might actually happen. Again.
Oh my god, what if Walking in Stations was a VR game and you could port your Eve character to the VR game? Would
I
you
could be-
buy the VR game?
No.
Well, what if
Would
the
you play it for free?
What if the VR
No.
game or the shooter
No.
access to it was just part of the $20 fee now?
I'm not buying a VR headset for Eve. Not happening.
I already have one.
What if you didn't have to, but you had the option to?
If I already had a VR headset and it was free, I'd probably try it, yeah.
But what if
So-
you
I
like
didn't
EVE Online.
have
So-
a VR headset?
I don't want to get people too excited, but you know what? One of the reasons why you make a game in Unreal or Unity or one of those engines like that,
Don't
because they-
fucking say it.
because they have VR built in.
You said it.
Maybe it's more like because they're like the most popular engines to use. I don't know.
Dude,
'Cause
I
it's
would
literally
play...
free.
Being the
Okay,
question,
listen.
why are they the most popular? That's what I'm saying. Like,
If
This
That's
I
not
could,
why they're the most popular.
it's
though.
one of the reasons.
Team.
I'm just saying. Like,
I don't,
if
I don't
I
like
could
that.
there's a
play
reason why
Eve in
VR games are
VR,
largely built in those things because they're already solved problems. If you want a game that is multi-platform, or if you want a game that transitions to VR, you make it in one of those two engines.
Yeah, but like most games aren't VR, so it's not really a consideration.
and we're back.
More and more of them have a VR component.
Okay,
though.
but listen, would you play Eve VR?
No.
Probably
No?
not.
I would.
I don't have
Holy
a VR
shit.
headset though.
If I could be in the actual cockpit of my ship, but still like have the map view,
What
ooh, that
cockpit?
would be weird.
In the actual cockpit, and then do like the in-game direct control thing. Oh, it's so
Yes.
good, dude. We tried it.
Did you?
Yeah, I have. Have you?
No.
It's really horrible.
Is it
There is
really?
no cockpit.
It's horrible.
You're not in a cockpit.
But they give.
that being
But
said,
I'm saying
I don't
that
give a shit about my flying in space.
they
I want to
add
be
the
able to walk.
cockpit, right?
I was gonna say some of them have cocks in there.
I want to
Oh,
be able
hell
to. I want to be able to, walk the streets of Kali or visit Shatas Spite or go to Jita 44 Bar. Like I don't.
What?
I don't care about
We're talking
seeing the
about
inside of
Eve
my
here,
ship.
not like Google Earth.
Yeah.
What?
the fuck?
W-
He
Okay.
wants to visit stations. He wants to walk in stations.
Not
I
And
just
thought
these
he was
stations,
talking
though.
about somewhere
have,
like
They've
Egypt.
been building
places
up
to be.
landmarks for 3 years now.
Who cares?
I kind of do.
Astarothi
Based.
cares.
Based.
Listen, if it's not nullsec, it doesn't matter. If it's
It
low
does
sec,
matter.
I'm
Dude.
not comfortable
Yes.
with this show anymore. I'm agreeing with Jeremy and Didar. I don't like it.
That's
All right.
exactly what I was
be on
thinking.
the end for respect.
I don't like it.
Listen, let me explain to you the mind of the nullsec player. If it's a
No.
nullsec, it might matter. If it's a low sec, 90% chance it doesn't matter. If it's in high sec, 99% of us will never hear it.
Nullsec
So
hates
true.
something.
So true.
Nullsec doesn't matter nearly as much as nullsecers think.
Hey,
No,
listen,
So
you
yeah,
know what?
Hey, I
If
wanna
it
hear
weren't for
about the-
nullsecers, bro, who would get into the news, huh? Your
to
boy
say,
down in whatever the fuck
local hauler makes
Wamalokalak.
$2 billion
The
profit on run.
I don't know, maybe
Some
the
guy
Doctor Who
dies in an
event,
orca on the
or
perimeter gate.
invasions, or the formation of Pochfin, or the fact that CCP has gotten into the news plenty of times over the last few years.
Wasn't the
That had
biggest
nothing
news
to
about
do with the
Pochfin
battles.
Niarja, which nullsectors caused anyways?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pochfin
true.
was entirely dictated by nullsec
Like,
groups.
am I wrong? We literally caused Niarja, and that was the biggest news story about Pochfin. It was the one that got into the media outlets and shit.
I mean, sure, you can take credit for it if you want, and yes, it was a component of it. But
I
the point was,
have to. That's what happened.
there's nullsec people on both sides, though. So
Yeah, of course, exactly.
It's
so like everything else, it was decided by the mechanics, and at this point, it was
No, it
decided by the people that had the will.
Nullsectors, because they were the ones that engaged.
Hold on,
There
wasn't
were
also
It was
like
an
people
extension of the war at the time. It literally was. Goons literally went in and said, "Fuck test." They said they're going to defend, so we're going to attack.
I absolutely
That's true.
agree, but that doesn't negate the hours of effort made by Edencom and Triglavians before that, or
No, I
the systems
agree.
that fell before
Just
that,
didn't
or
get
the
in the
systems that
news.
fell
And that's
after
what we're
that.
talking
it
about.
didn't have the same
We're
like
pretty
impact.
linchpin in what happened. But what I'm saying is that like it still would have had like to say that it happened the way it did, like you're the cause of Niarja falling, as if if Nullsec didn't get involved, Niarja wouldn't have fallen. I don't think that that's true.
It might not have fallen, or it might have
I
fallen.
mean, who knows? All I know is that nullsectors were involved in the biggest.
You assign value and you assign interest to these things because of player involvement. Yeah, does it matter if Niarja falls if players are not involved? Probably not. But the involvement of players is what makes these things matter. It's not that they happen in and of themselves.
I agree, and there are a lot of people involved in these things that were more invested than Nullsec showing up for one day.
Yeah, more
Agree.
invested, but does that imply more numbers or more people? Which
I
is
guess
what
it's the headline, Esther. I think Nullsec.
We were talking about making it into the news. Like, stop
Yeah.
changing the goal.
Yes.
yeah,
But
numbers
that's
get
like what made it
news.
into the news.
No,
The invasion didn't make it to the news.
Pochfin.
yes, it did.
I
No, it
mean,
didn't.
there was like an article on like PC Gamer, Aliens
There's been
Invade or whatever, and that
multiple
was it.
invasions or articles, both when it first
And then
happened.
the biggest one was the Niarja one because it cut the high sec route, right?
Rarvos was also a newsworthy thing. In fact, in outside of our little bubble, Rarvos is seen as far more like of a relevant moment than the actual fall of Niarja itself.
What happened at Rarvos again?
It
You
was
gotta
the
realize
first,
that
it was
these are
the first
like
system to go into totality or
A,
Yeah, but who
final
cares?
liminality.
these are like AI written like articles.
Maybe they're
Like,
making an
these aren't
entire
people
comic
writing
book
these
off of it,
things.
so apparently they do.
I mean,
Like
pretty
it's,
sure
it's
Niarja was a bigger deal, but
To-
whatever. I mean, it had like the most effect on Eve as a whole, right? Niarja falling, didn't it?
yeah, oh yeah, I could definitely like day-to-day impact of the actual universe as a whole. I'd say that the fall of Niarja was the single.
I looked up EVE Online Pochfin news. Do you know how many results I got on the news tab of Google? I got 5. One is a
Base.
CCP interview, one is in German, one is from Kotaku, so it's not a real news source. One is from an article called Auto Evolution, and one of them is from MMORPG.com, which is about World War B2.
Based.
So what you're saying
Anyways.
is Pochfin did indeed make the news.
Drifter attacks made the news.
Everything makes the news because it's AI like bot
Because
writing
it's
news
not based
articles.
because it's not the only thing that big. My point was big wars and big conflicts aren't the only thing that gets the news. And you know what? People that join thanks to big conflicts in general don't stay as well as people that
Do
join
you
for
have any
things like
proof of
Doctor Who.
that?
Yes, I've
There's
literally
not
talked to
really a lot of
CCP
ways you can
actually talked to
quantify
CCP
that.
about this.
There's no way you
Oh,
can
no,
quantify
go
that. You
look at the
are
metrics.
talking out of your
Things like BTR.
ass, dude.
No, this is actually true. Like, stop. This is
Proof.
actually true, and it makes actual sense. Because the problem is that if somebody sees BTAC-R, and that's the reason why they join the game, they're coming in with an expectation. And you know what? They're not going to get that expectation one way or another. And so they end up quitting because they come in with the wrong expectation. Meanwhile, we have things like Doctor Who event where they come in and they're given exactly what they expected that they were going to get. And so the
And
people
they
that
quit
came
the
in to
game
join
still.
them want that.
It only
Stay.
came back to Eve because of the war in 2016.
Hey, Ashtarothi, what's
There's a
the
lot-
sources, my guy? We're doing this again.
Yeah, you're
I
Like, you're
only
going,
came back to
you're
the game.
arguing to like
You
you're
can't
arguing to the point where
quantify
it's
that, like, at
obvious.
all.
You are telling me this is true because it's obvious that it's true. Like, do
No,
you
I'm saying
actually have-
because, like I said, I've
Come on,
talked to
Monday.
CCP about this specifically. Like, and you
Where
can
the
also
fuck are your
the metrics,
sources other than
I
the
trust me,
largest
bro? I
drop
call
in player
CCP.
base, the
Link
largest
me
single
something
drop
that I
in
can
the play,
read.
the largest single drop in the PCU happened when CCP was the most concerned or most focused on the celebrating the players' activities. In fact, the single biggest
Bruh.
drop in the PCU did not come in Blackout. It came directly after BTAC R.
Were there concurring events that happened after BTAC R?
Correlation, causation, etc.
Are there other events that could have possibly caused this?
I look, okay, I don't have on hand a piece of information that proves that exact point. But like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I've been talking to CCP for a while. I've been, working on, like, this is the reason that fact is a big reason why we saw the changes that we did in 16, 17, and 18, because they were reacting to the fact that what they discovered.
You cut out again, my guy.
No, why did you tell him? Stop.
BTAC R is a giant engine that turned prospective players into ex players.
Bruh.
Sounds kind of cringe.
I literally only
Retention
came back
actually
to the game for the Delve War. That's the only reason I came back. Not
People
for
get
anything else.
people get
Why
engaged.
are we changing the
with
topic
these-
again?
People get
You
engaged with
guys
these
keep
wars, but
moving
they
the
don't-
goal, like moving around.
How
as
did
we
I
talk
move the
about something.
goalposts? You said that people that come to the game for
You're
big null
playing
events
a
don't
totally
stick
different
around,
field.
as well as people that come to the game for other reasons.
I'll come to bat.
Shifting. I'm
original
asking you to
point.
give me a source that isn't just trust me, bro. I've spoken
And you
to
have
CCP.
zero fucking proof, mate. Where's your proof?
To go to bat for Ash, we saw throughout Nullsec a lot of FCs, a lot of big names after the war and doing it come back and then quit. There were a lot of people who anecdotally have said, I have seen and read anecdotally, I only came back for the war, I'm quitting after the war, whatever. Like, you can go on the test, whatever alliance, Pappy Alliance map, look at
Why would
where
I go to the
my
test map?
alliance.
There's nothing there.
Go to the where my alliance members are, and you'll see there's like a bunch of people like T5ZI still, or like wherever, like One Smeb or Ermalin, right? So people like he's not wrong. He's not like
Oh, dude, there's so many Horde players
He's
still in
pretty wrong.
T5ZI.
Yeah.
Again, your Horde ult and just look at court members in space. There's so many.
Yeah, like you have like. So the wars do not garner retention. They garner attention, but not retention, and we know that's at least anecdotally true. They get people involved in the game, and they get people like asking about it and paying attention to it, but they do not keep players involved after the war is over. Essentially,
Let me actually ask you this question, or let me point out this in a different way. The fact that people returned for the war proves my point, because the people that did that joined the game because they were promised big fights and everything, and when they didn't have it, they didn't stay in the game.
They got plenty of big fights during the war, and then the war stopped. And there's no more big fights.
I found something else to keep me around after the war ended, which I wouldn't have found otherwise.
I'm taking the vibe you're putting down, my boy, and I'm picking it up and finding it smells like doo doo.
So you're talking with goons here. You just gotta you gotta just chimp out, dude, and just start throwing poo everywhere.
He is, man. He already is.
He's been throwing shit everywhere.
Worse than this? I have been fighting goons because when I first showed up, I thought it was Trash Talk Tuesday.
It's Wednesday, my dude. What are you on about?
That's why I just said I was going to apologize
Wednesday, man.
about it. Jesus.
You said it.
Hear my sentences, or are you just reacting to be reacting?
Half of them, I
They're
truly
reacting to
haven't found.
react. It's goons, dude. Don't take them seriously. I've been fighting them for 3 years. Don't let them get under your skin. You're better.
Jeremy, you
Taking them
read
seriously
Empires
and
of Eve
responding to them
and
are two
joined the
different things.
game to crush Goon Swarm Federation.
Yes.
You have activated all of your syndromes all the
I'm the most
time.
powerful man in existence, Cryo, and you can't stop me.
You read Empires of Eve and went, Goons delenda est, and now you rat 12 hours a day.
Yes, out of pure
in order to
passage.
achieve this. Out of passage.
No, not out of passage anymore, boo.
Oh yeah, not
I do
anymore.
it in Jay-Z.
Sorry, you're in better space now. Yeah, I forgot.
I get loot from my rats now. I hate it. I hate looting rats.
Even being in charge wasn't enough to keep Sandrin and Test Alliance. Please ignore.
Yeah, how's
Test
Probably
Alliance,
Block going,
please die.
Jeremy?
Listen, Test is a fine alliance full of good people. I've told them all, if they ever need anything, I always invite them to fights and fleets and whatever, and they're always a very special place in my heart. There's no bitter Xing for me over Test.
I have a lot of respect. I like the Imperium quite a bit, actually.
Shut up.
Me too.
As far as like no blocks go, they're
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 trash,
the biggest and the
dude. They're
blobbiest.
worst.
one of the things I
Listen,
found.
blink twice if they have your address and they're making you say this.
No, well, no, this is honest to God truth. One of the things I'm suspicious of, and have been for a while, is that the enemies of the Imperium have created all of this like idea of how shitty the Imperium is, and then allowed that whether or not that's true, but then that has become carte blanche for them to behave that way themselves, even if the Imperium doesn't
Sure.
actually do it. So, like, I have seen far worse behavior out of things like Horde than from the Imperium in general.
Well, in fairness, 25% of Horde is just Imperium members, so.
They're just spies.
People
so.
justify bad actions
pretty
because
true.
the Imperium do it, but actually,
What
Imperium do a lot
behavior
for their
you
people.
talking about? Like, I'm kind of curious.
Give
like,
specifics.
Is Gobbins like sending like crypto assassins to Goonswarm people houses? Like,
Crypto assassins.
No, I'm talking about like
I don't have a crypto assassin.
behavior,
Bro.
the propensity to shit on people that are like coming into their space, all that kind of stuff.
So,
But I mean,
what?
like, whatever. I'm not.
Are you saying that Standing Fleet is like a toxic element of the game? Are you saying Horde Standing Fleet is toxic to the game, Ash?
No.
That's what you just implied, though. is that
No.
Horde Standing Fleet isn't toxic.
What I said was, in my opinion, the Imperium are not that bad. That was my position.
You know,
Based
you
on
said
what?
that.
I agree with you.
They
You
pointed
actually
out
make a good point.
the
on
non-Imperium
what?
people often have bad behavior, and in my opinion, this is anecdotal, and I admit to it from the beginning. From
Okay, so
my
on nothing.
experience, and from the experience of
Understood.
the people I've talked to about this for 2 years, I have seen much worse behavior out of groups against the Imperium, justifying that bad behavior because that's what all nullsec do, or that's what the Imperium does, and that's allowed them to act even worse than the like they're becoming their own strawmen. And you know what? This is a behavior in human development that we see over and over again. So to think that
I
this
think
is
you're
what's
making
happening
this up.
is okay, fine.
I just think you're making this up. I think
Sure.
somebody talked bad about you in local, and he was in Horde, and you got your feelings hurt. And you're like, Horde, bad, Imperium, good.
All right,
Do you
I'm
think
gonna post
I
an
was
image
in skin?
the
Do you
chat.
think I would have survived this conversation this long? Come on,
No.
man.
I don't think you're surviving. I think you're flailing about desperately, flowing the
No,
wrath
he's doing
remnants of
fine.
Putin.
I'm calling you. I'm calling you out
Block is
lies,
bad.
dude.
I think it's
Can you
just
give me-
fact.
Can you give me evidence
I've
for
been
this
firm about my
behavior?
positions and clear with my words. I'm not the one misrepresenting people, and
Give
I'm
me
not the
facts.
one being
Give me facts.
deceptive.
Give me facts. You got facts?
Have you
got
ever
you got some
been a
evidence?
member of the
Proof?
Imperium, Ash?
Proof?
No, but I have
you
been
been
a
a member of
member of
Horde?
Test.
Okay, so
you
hold
remember
up.
a Horde?
Let me shut up, Jeremy. Fuck. So with the if you're not a member of the Imperium, content, can you tell him what he is if he's not a member of the Imperium?
A puppy.
A puppy. Yeah.
I'm aware that is their opinion of me.
These folks that you're defending here, that you're a puppy to them, content.
It's okay.
did
We
you
can make
invite-
him
are you
not a
gonna
puppy
invite
for a
Ashtarothi?
$10 bond.
Because
Are you
I
gonna
don't
invite
defend
Ashtarothi
people
to your
or
birthday
attack
party barbecue.
I don't defend people or attack people because of some political allegiance or whatever. I give credit where credit's due.
What?
I just don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you literally
Bro,
just
it's
make stuff
possible.
up
You
and
can
then
just
come on
say
the
that.
internet lying.
I pride
I just need
myself
to
on being a
clarify.
reasonable goon, you know? I would invite him, although most people I know hate him, so I don't know. It might be a little awkward.
The whole point that I was trying to make was because it was starting to look like I was getting down on the Imperium, that I do not get down on, or I do not dislike the
Oh.
Imperium. I don't think that the Imperium are fundamentally
You
a
don't want to
problem.
get Matteralled.
No, I want to be accurate and not misrepresented. That's what I want.
Oh.
What? Anyways,
Well,
he's just making.
So I'm trying to be clear.
What are we talking about?
My
Andrew,
experience
he
with
says he's
goons
trying to
has
be
rarely
clear,
been
yet
great.
so far I'm only very confused.
Yeah, but Slav, how high are you?
Let me be clear here.
Oh god.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
Anyways, the what am I trying to say?
To be fair.
So Ash, the thing is that if you haven't ever been a member of Goons, like you can't really know what the behavior is, right? You could ask a member of Goons or a former member, one that may have been ousted unfairly.
Oh,
Well, okay.
As
I'll
a
tell you this.
member of Goonswarm,
One of the
in,
metrics that I use is as the nature of my alliance is that I generally take in new people, and at some point, very often, they say, "All right, well, I'm ready to move on to the next thing. I'm going to go join a null block now." And so I've had many people leave my organization and go and join null blocks, and you know what? They report back to me their findings, and all I'm saying is that the Imperium people generally feel welcome. And I've had a lot of people from the other groups get kicked back and be like, I can't believe how big of shitbirds these guys are.
Which
Astarothi,
group?
I agree.
your alliance
I
has
agree.
4 active characters. I don't know how much you're getting out of that.
What are you talking about?
I pulled up your Z kill, right? I'm doing some Z kill. What is your alliance?
I have a high sec alliance. Why would we have a giant presence on Zkill?
Yeah, come on,
Okay.
man.
Like our giant.
That is a good
if
point.
we have any presence on Zkill, it's an Aider on robotics. Like, why the hell are you? No.
See, Jeremy,
like-
that's what we call a false equivalency, right? Right? It's a bad thing because it's like
I
an
think
apple and
you're,
an orange, my dude.
I like the turn the show has taken where we're saying Imperium good. I, for one, agree.
Look, see, and that's the thing is that there's already a channel that's dedicated to knobbing on the Imperium, and it's not this one.
I mean,
Well,
it could be. It could be if you were based, Redline, but you're not based.
It won't be. Not after what Grath Telkin did to me.
That's because you're not based, my friend.
It's because you're cringe, Redline.
Yeah, see? Cryo gets it.
Bro, didn't you like? Never mind.
Wow, you were gonna say something?
What
No?
organization
No
are you a director for again? I can't remember.
Goonswarm.
Is it Ministry of Truth, right?
As the director of Reddit Swarm, I'm here to. Please look at my endgame titles to confirm. I believe if you willingly engage with EVE Online on a Twitch.tv talk show, you are cringe.
Man.
Okay,
If you
so you
run a talk show on Twitch.tv about the space video game EVE Online, you are double cringe, and that's not a negative that cancels out.
Unless you're the Matani, because you can't be cringe then. You're immune.
Oh no, he's cringe personified. Man used to LARP as a vampire.
No.
But he knows that
Do you
and
think he gets all that
understands
spin?
He accepts.
Did he?
Yeah, the key is to
Vampire the
accept that you
Masquerade?
are cringe and pull it inside yourself and use it as fuel.
Wait, vampire? I thought he was a wizard.
No.
I was on
Oh
Matani.
boy.
No, he played LARPs and Amcard and stuff.
Go.
Everybody, start your engines.
Is
No,
the
he used
Matani
to
going
play on Vampire the
Fanfest this
Masquerade
year?
as a Ventru.
What
Yeah,
is
he used to
the
LARP.
Maybe that should go on the fucking bingo card.
What
Just
is
make it
the-
spicy.
Fanfest?
Matani wears a wizard hat to Fanfest again?
Oh God. I thought you were going to put World of Darkness on there, and I was like, oh God, please don't.
No,
That
What,
might be an okay one, but I doubt it. Yeah.
What is
We'll
that
put in the
internet
Matani
concept
at
that like the longer
Is
a
the
debate
Matani
internet
gonna be
goes, Hitler would be brought up or
Godwin's
something
Law.
like that?
Godwin's Law?
Can we make Godwin's Law, but it's just instead of Hitler, it's just Matani at FanFest with a wizard hat. It's like a version of that,
I mean, that is
Did
pretty
you
true,
just
yeah.
call the Matani Eve's Hitler?
Well,
I hope
that's not.
not.
A comparison. That's not the first time
Okay.
I've
I
ever
mean,
made that
you're talking
comparison.
to Jeremy and to Dare, my guy. Like, what do you?
Nope.
Yeah,
well,
this
I
isn't
mean,
the first time he's called us
Nothing,
Hitler
man.
either.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
mean,
be quiet.
I mean, if that's the point, then based as hell, I guess.
Amen, brother. Hell yeah. Listen,
I do need to genuinely clarify that Jeremy will take any opportunity to call us Hitler or Nazis, which is kind of weird.
springtime for mittens and Goonswarm.
It's kind of cringe, dude. Please don't do that again.
Holy shit.
That was actually pretty fun.
Winter for test. I don't know the rest of that. And faith, maybe? I'll have
Keep
to
the faith.
I'm actually
Winter-
disappointed that Goons doesn't have like a formal anthem. I guess they have Little Bees, but
We
like
have
it's
a
not something that,
DJ.
like. Well, there's that.
Need a good re-recording of Little Bees from someone that does an alliance hop.
I was gonna say, I've always thought it was very amusing that the person who sung Little Bees is now singing songs against the Imperium.
He's making his way around the galaxy, man. He's going to be in every alliance by the end of his career.
No, he's making his way around the galaxy to end up in Syndicate again. Get it right.
Who are we talking about?
Suez.
Suez.
He's in Horde now, my man.
Who is this?
Look, all I'm saying
Shut
is
up and
y'all
Shut
are
up and
friends.
shave.
He runs Black Omega Security, the premier FC corporation of Pandemic Horde, with Carmen Gel and Kale. I don't remember his other name.
Oh,
Great FCs, man. Yeah, nice.
Tier 1 FCs who left test better than they found it.
I used to think they were Test's version of Busa, but now I guess they're Horde's version of Busa.
They're Busa's version of Busa, and they're
I don't know who any of those dudes are, but cool.
That's rude, man.
you don't read your oh shoot, what is like a tabloid magazine that everyone reads?
What?
I don't read magazines
The
usually.
New
I
Eden
don't read 'em.
Inquirer, my dude.
Yeah, I don't read your issue of the New Eden
You know what?
Inquirer with all the hot, juicy,
Do you
null-set
guys
gossip.
read Redline's news website at all?
Dude,
Does
there
anyone?
hasn't been a post on there in a long
Wait, Redline
time.
is a news website? What?
Briscrew Ball
I don't
is
read
here.
it. I don't read it. Yeah,
Fuck.
I don't think anyone reads
Someone
it.
drag Briscrew Ball. I'll do it myself.
I'm surprised anybody's even watching this stream, man. Holy shit.
Everybody's watching it. Everybody's here. We're all partying, making bingo cards. What's up, Brisk?
Wait, this is being streamed?
This is like peak entertainment. This is reality TV
God,
show,
they're
man.
streaming these comms, guys.
Hello, Brisk Krubal of the Noted Alliance, the Initiative.
I
have
was
a
here to
question for
say-
you.
I was here to tell him Nick Sharp eat my ass.
Just like his dad.
Okay,
Is this
Brisk,
a you were
how
gonna
much money
stream on
would you
Saturday?
What are you
pay?
guys doing otherwise? I read
How much money would you pay to see Fernok Dawn do Tony Hawk style tech deck tricks out of his chest cavity?
What the fuck?
Is that a thing? Does that happen?
Like, you know those little finger skateboards? Yeah, he's got his little chest ball. Do some little tricks out of there.
Nice.
Can
Like
we
with the voice
unban
box?
Fernok Dorn, by the way?
Unban Fernok Dawn.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
it's
if
on
what
Ben
is he-
for Nocturne.
What was he banned for? I mean, besides
hold
the
on, I'll get the
obvious.
exact quote.
He was
Yeah, get the quote.
Advocating RMT even in jest.
He said
Exact quote
RMT
from
was
Fernok
for
Dawn.
me, but
That I
What
have
was
in
it?
front of me.
okay. Can you read the quote?
No. He was talking about how he is doing RMT, and if you want tips, he has a great way where you can do
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
both. I have a screenshot. It is evidence.
Yeah, but
Come
is
on,
that really
objection.
evidence? Are
Speculation.
you using the best?
Overruled.
Wait, you have evidence?
Is this relevant?
Is this verified
proof?
evidence?
The first piece of evidence on this entire show?
Oh my
I
god.
literally
dude,
cited the
first-
numbers and showed the article that was literally posted on the website for this stream, and you just dismissed it. So
Who?
whatever, man.
Like literally, guys. Like literally the article.
Who?
Ash, it's the Shakespeare quote, kill all the lawyers.
Fair.
Look, the R and
How
RMT
dare you?
stands. R and RMT stands for
Except
Redline.
Risk, of course.
Don't say that out loud.
Oh, what did you say? I want to repeat it.
Yeah, say it again. Folks, I'm doing RMT right now.
Hi, doing RMT right now. I'm Gerg.
Trading?
If
If
you
you
want
want
tips on how
tips-
to do RMT, I have a great way where you can both do RMT and make money doing RMT.
I'm back. What are we talking about?
Is that what
RMT.
you
I,
said?
you know, I don't advocate for RMT,
Yeah,
but if
we're,
you're doing RMT and not making money, you're doing
We're giving
something
people
wrong.
tips on how to do RMT now.
Let's say just ask Cable. I'm sure he'll know.
You know,
Alright,
there's
I'll
the best
unban him.
region to
If you need help,
RMT
you can
in.
ask RC.
Please, RC's not smart enough to actually put two and two together and make that kind of money.
No, I'm just
With
saying
how much was
RMT
that, like,
is.
Riker,
as much
only
as
Fish
everybody's
Fulton
called
can
out
hang out with you now.
Oh, okay. Well, I had to push off the show. I'm sorry, Brisk.
It's fine. It was a rough day today. Plus all the FanFest planning. So
No
Chris,
plan,
do you have
like,
anything
plan.
added to the bingo
Are you
card?
Vegas next year?
What'd you say? Add to
I
the
haven't
bingo
decided
card?
on Vegas yet, Jeremy.
You have to. You have to go.
But more likely than not, I will be there. But we will see.
Have we finished the bingo
Comes down
card
to
yet?
this-
No,
Matani's not going to be at FanFest, so you can take that off the bingo card. That's
well, people are
missed
adding
opportunity.
weird shit
The
that's
issue is
never
brought
gonna
up.
happen. So I mean, it's
That's it.
in brand.
Brisk, please go to Vegas because I'm actually going to hang out with Goons next Vegas because I had way more fun with Goons than I did with well, okay, I'm not going to say it. I had a lot of fun with Goons.
Did you ever get banned from a bar with goons though?
No, that was with waffles.
Listen, we just need somebody to be the card girl for when I have my fights. Right, Cryo's gonna plan out like a series of fight nights for me.
I'll do it.
Oh yeah, we need to crowdfund Jeremy and Adare versus a Goon Swarm member yet to be determined.
Sinuria?
I think he'd lose.
Oh my god.
Bro, I've been
Nah, you'd
working
lose.
out. I can't make it this year, man.
Listen, I was gonna fight, I think, Zenuria, and then basically anyone who wants to fight me, I'll just fight at Vegas, dude. We just need a card girl.
You're not gonna fight anybody. What the f are you
Well, 'cause
talking about, dude?
So,
I will
Jeremy,
Red line,
Jesus
I will fight
Christ,
anyone.
dude.
Jeremy, I will be the card girl, but I will not be wearing a skimpy uniform.
See,
Anything's
what's
legal
the
in Vegas
point?
with
Has
enough money,
anybody-
Redline.
Has anybody here playing the game, played the game long enough to remember the Fanfest with chess boxing?
No.
I don't know. This
No.
conversation just reminded me of that.
Listen, all I'm saying is you crowdfund me to Vegas, I will be public entertainment, okay?
If you guys want to see Eve celebrity fighting, watch what would be the meta show on Saturday. We're doing our WWE 2022 Eve Celebrity Edition again while we're over in FanFest.
You're assuming that I'm already
fun.
not. You're assuming that I'm already not going to watch the meta show.
Well, you should be watching it. Just saying.
What is
It's
the
basically just a
Eve
better
Celebrity
version of this
Fanfest
show, right?
edition?
So, all right. So, what we do, we've been trying to do this once a month. We did it last month when I was on spring break. We have a bunch of Eve characters that we create in WWE 2K22, and then we have them wrestle each other.
That's pretty fun.
Like
That's pretty fun.
last match we had, it was Fountain Frank and Matani versus Matterall and ProGod, and Matterall kicked the shit out of everyone. It was impressive.
Yeah, but I bet unlike the real WWE, you guys just fake it all.
Am
Oh,
I
God.
in Eve
It's
Wrestling?
real to
From
me, damn it.
Can I be in Eve Wrestling?
Is this a kayfabe zone?
Well, Redline, we did an internal poll to see who people wanted on the next stream. We'll have to add you to the list when we do it a third time.
Yeah, we need Redline on there. He hosts the only other talk show, right?
I think
Wait,
so.
hold on. Redline hosts a talk show?
Yeah, that's
I
what
think so.
this is.
I've
I thought
heard
we just
about
did
it.
Blackout.
It's like Trash Talk Thursday or something, right?
No, that doesn't sound right. Are you sure it's owned by Redline?
It might not be.
I
don't
thought
know,
Trash
actually.
Talk Thursday was Mav.
Oh yeah. Yeah, where's Mav?
Toasting
Mav?
iHubs.
We need a host for the show. Where's Mav?
Who's Mav?
He's someone who needs
Why
to
is-
start toasting iHubs because he's never done it before.
I don't understand
Yeah.
what you thought was gonna happen there. Like, did you just think I was gonna stop hosting the show because you like willed it into existence?
No. It was
Well, what the
lightening the
hell?
mood, you know?
Someone said Maverline. Don't ever say that.
Maverick.
I will not accept that.
The R
Crossover.
stands for
Matterline.
Redline, and the M stands
Maverall.
for Mav.
Neverall.
Maverall, dude.
Neverall.
No, that's not fair. So who
Matterline?
is going to FanFest? Is everybody who's there already there, or are there more people still going? Seen a lot of pictures.
Fuck that.
None of you guys.
I know
are
there's
going
a
to
few
FanFest,
people that
right?
are like I've
Risky
heard
vote.
that.
I'm going.
No,
I'm
today.
just not there yet.
Yeah,
You're just because you're an American. Sure.
I might go to
Yes,
Vegas.
I will
I
leave
don't know
Thursday night and get there Friday morning, and then immediately go over and do my thing.
I don't know. I prefer to stay away from my disappointments, so
yet. Are you logged into Eve right now, Slav? Be honest.
I was.
Oh, okay. Close. No, just making sure.
Should I be logged in?
No, just, you know,
Probably not.
No.
staying away
logged
from your
in.
disappointments, right?
Oh,
so
Well, team. What were you gonna say, Ashtrathi?
I was going to say, like going back to what I said earlier, like the problem is that the real nightmare scenarios we haven't even been addressing. My biggest concern, if we want to talk about bad things that's going to be talked about at FanFest, is whatever it was that CCP Swift was alluding to when it came to whatever's going to come from the retriever thing. Like, I don't know what their plan is, but I'm super nervous about it.
I don't think
That's
I'm
what you're
nervous
nervous
it.
about?
You know,
Yes,
that
that
guy
is what I'm so
reminds
nervous
me of
about.
Elise Randolph. He seems
I'm not
a lot
really
like
nervous
Elise
at all.
Randolph.
I'm
We
kind of
heard you the
indifferent.
first time, Gerg. Just wasn't funny.
Ouch, man.
Gerg,
All right, you guys have a good rest of the night. I'm going to go hang out with Mrs. Brisk.
He was just here to plan the meta show.
I mainly just wanted to say my ass to Nick. So
Goodbye,
I'll
Brisk.
see you
We
guys
love you.
later.
Great.
He's
He's
Yeah,
gonna leave the
Brisk.
server straight after.
Anyways, I think that I think we're probably ought to wind it down. We've been live for almost 3 hours. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah, the only thing I could think about listening to Astrothy talk, you know what I mean?
What's the clock? That's
Hey,
so
I warned you guys
toxic,
before I
dude.
even came on.
I was the first one. He's like, "Oh, do they even want that?" I said no.
listen.
That's true.
I said
Sure,
no.
He did say it.
But let's be honest. Asherathi probably made this show at least a little bit entertaining.
I had
You're not
fun.
entertained.
I was
Wait, there's-
entertained. I had fun.
Guys, we debrief after the show's over. We have to keep up the facade, don't you know?
Oh, this isn't a facade.
facade?
We're actually just this shilling
All
or
right.
whatever.
Anyways,
Hold on.
guys, did you know that you
Wait.
can subscribe to this channel for free if you got Amazon Prime?
Oh my
Do
god.
that.
They're streaming these comms, guys. They're streaming these comms to Twitch.
Did you know that you can give your free Twitch Prime subscriptions to Imperium News Network as well?
No, don't do that.
They need the money, man.
Those guys are toxic. They
You got all
would
those cool emotes.
they
It
would-
just sounds like a good idea.
look. They're toxic. Okay, don't do it. You got to get
I
Amazon
definitely
Prime.
think that everyone watching this should do exactly that, actually. 100%.
Can we rename your clown emote to Jeremy, by the way?
Or no, probably
Let's
not.
do it.
Damn.
Also, I hear that Between Two Keepstars is actually going on INN now.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Another
I never
channel,
watched it, but hell
another
yeah.
channel no one will watch the show on.
Don't worry, no one else has either.
Exactly.
I watched
Anyways,
like
that was-
talking in stations, but that's about it.
Did you guys know?
Okay.
Redline,
Maybe
it's
some-
not really going on Imperium News.
I know.
It has to be good in order for it to get on Imperium News.
No, it doesn't.
That's why
They
this isn't on.
broadcast
Are you
Day to
sure about that?
Thursday. They broadcast Day to Thursday, dude. It doesn't have to be anything.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, actually. He's got a good point.
Hey, everyone near AI Tech EHV, Black Crow Bandits is dropping dreads and feeding them right now in Great Wildlands. If anyone
Hold
wants to
on,
watch
hold
them.
on. Someone's
hell yeah.
dropping dreads? What? What? What?
Yeah,
Nobody's playing the game
Black
right
Crow
now.
Bandits and A1 AI
And
Tech
they're
E.
feeding them?
Yeah, dude, look at the battle report. About to feed
Oh
the Padre.
no. Oh no.
Hey, Jeremy,
Yeah,
I thought you were part of Pappy, but you're ratting out part of Pappy. What
I'm not
the hell,
part of
dude?
Pappy doesn't exist.
How can? Yeah, nobody's a part of Pappy.
There is no
There we go.
Pappy.
Pappy
Pappy
won
is
the
dead.
war.
Pretty sure Pappy exists.
Look, is the
What
Pappy
is this
in the room with
Loki
you right
fit,
now?
though, dude?
Pappy exists in our heart and in our memories.
These are heavy missile Lokis, dudes. That's what I'm.
Is
That's
this in
what I'm looking
Pureblind?
at. Yeah, no,
Great
they're heavy
Wildlands.
missile Lokis and Jamgoose, all with heavy missiles, and they're spider tanking too. Are
Where's
they
the
all
battle
spider
report?
tanking, or are there, bro? What?
I'm seeing Great Wildlands too. What the
Great
fuck's going on here?
Wildlands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they do have some Logi Lokis in there, so they're not like entirely spider tanking, but they are dying to typhoons. So I mean, yeah,
Okay, so
dying to typhoons. So that should tell you everything you need to know about this.
so
They're
I
having
do.
fun, right?
Look,
I do.
please note, this is Black Crow Bandits, the group that took out roaming Hecates and anchored up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Did you
Yeah,
just say
they
what
were
I
out
think you said?
roaming in Hecates, and when they fought
Yeah.
someone, they anchored up their Hecates.
Like blaster Hecates as opposed to rail Hecates,
They
right?
were blaster Hecates that they anchored up
And they
on.
anchored. Bro, sometimes I think I'm either like really, really bad at this game compared to these guys, or I just don't understand.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
these
a
are
little bit of both.
expensive
Wait,
fucking
which part?
Tengus, my boys. These are-
50
this is a-
MN micro warp drive 2.
billion
Yeah,
S.
they're not afterburner fit. Well, some
This
of
is
them
a
are
billion
afterburner.
S
Some of them, yeah,
tenure
they
right
are.
here.
They are AB.
Some of them are afterburner fit. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think some of
they-
them are afterburner and some of them are micro warp drive.
Whoa.
Are they
Like,
polarized?
no, they're all afterburner.
Yeah, they're all
actually.
afterburner.
I
They're
can't
all
find any
afterburner.
micro warp drive. They don't have damage controls though.
Are they polarized?
No.
My
They
friends.
don't have damage controls. None of these ships have damage controls, bruh.
What are you guys looking at?
AI tech.
AI
Electus
tech
Atari.
E.
It's this important system that I think it has like double R64s or something in Great Wildlands. I think,
So-
yeah, it has double R64s. That's why they're fighting here.
So, serious question. And this is something I've been wondering for a while. But so Diva joined Severance, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
because if they joined Horde, then Sandrin would have to interact with Carmen Gel again, and he wants to avoid that.
Okay.
Standard would have
but
to
then,
purge Jeremy, and it,
then,
I'm not. I don't have to purge me. My blacklist is gone. I am
then
welcome on Horde once more.
but then Severance went to go join, like to go and shack up with Brave.
No.
So is
They did?
Severance fighting Brave?
So, sir, take out a map, and I want you to point to Fade the Ballas, and I want you to point to Pure Blind, and I want you to figure out how far those are away on the side of the map. They are on the
About 6 or 7.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't really.
6 or 7.
I didn't really care enough to look at it. I just heard someone say a meme, and I was wondering
Riker-
if it was true.
Riker is reporting fake news yet again.
I
I
never
get
supposed
proof?
reporting real news.
Can I get
wait a
Yeah,
proof,
minute.
man?
let's get some proof up in here.
It's a
Also,
real lack of proof on
Slav,
this
that guy I
game.
think is my favorite Goonswarm member. He sounds like a surfer, you know, like a beach bum kind of.
Can-
He
we
does. It's great.
Can we drag Alterari?
Oh yeah, get
He can
Alterari
just
in
Get
here.
join the
Alterari.
channel, dude.
Yeah, but he deserves a drag.
He can just
No,
join the
no.
channel.
Alterari is
Also,
a
I want
drag
it to be
queen,
known that I'm
okay?
Slav's handler. That's my official title.
What?
I'm your handler now.
This
I
is
like how we
true.
said we were wrapping it up, and now we're adding more people.
I've put
I
content
didn't say anything
in
about
charge
wrapping
of like
anything up.
Oh, fair enough.
like helping me do everything because I don't know how to do anything.
He's a true goon. True blue goon.
Every
See-
time I'm seeing a fleet and calling targets, I'm just relaying what content is talking to me in Discord.
You see, not wrapping it up is how you. Wait, actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna finish that.
No.
Exactly, dude. That's the point. I'm in. Hit the I'm in button, and you'll be able to get in.
Side red line.
Just drag him, dude. He's a goon. He can't
He's
fucking
waiting.
read. He can't read.
I'm not doing
there,
it.
bro.
He can't read.
Wasn't
That's
this
why I
billion S
told you.
Tengu with a completely insane fit
This-
that makes it's
Bro,
got one
these
low slot,
fits-
dude.
Wait,
They
if I-
don't have damage controls though, and they're all covert fit. Like what? Why?
The one low slot with
Hello,
a
friends.
fraction BCU on it.
Hello, are you enjoying the feed?
So,
What feed?
AI Tech E in Great Line.
So,
Black
I'm
some-
Gold
moving
Daisy.
him Ensil, remote shield booster.
Some smooth brains and Horde are dropping a ton of covert T3s on the battleship fleet because that's how you kill battleship fleets. Apparently.
They're
Good
down
check.
bad. Down bad.
They're already being pinged.
It's usually what B-Crow
I think,
does, is feed.
Yeah, test is on the way with Ishtars.
Oh, this is sad. No, listen.
Ishtar's
Horde
the
drop
test-
dreads
to
too.
the
Oh my
test
god.
FC helping them stand down and stand by. Okay, don't you know, you don't need to help them. They don't need to help them.
All right, Slav, how fast can we form? Let's go.
We can form very fast.
Hold
Let's
on,
go.
hold on. Let's get it, guys. Hold on. Maximum mutants. No,
Let's
not
get
mutants.
this bread.
Let's. I think
Make sure you hit
we
all
need to do
caps,
Castrol.
all caps,
Maximum
cap
Hagates.
cannons on
Castrol,
Ultra
my
Arcane.
dude. Castrals.
I'll
That's
add you to
maximum Kestrels.
the beacon ACL so you can bridge to our beacons and get there quicker. You don't gotta worry about that, you know.
Oh my god, you're the man.
Fucking hero. Let's do
Thank you,
it.
thank you.
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
absolutely.
I just want to
Unfortunately.
say, Bash FC, you know that alliance you just mentioned, the best alliance in the game. I hear their exec is a real Chad
Which one?
hero.
Who?
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 Wow, I see what you did there.
You
Get out.
mean cable
He
strap?
who? I haven't heard of him.
Who?
Who? I know he sounded like
I didn't know
bunch
there was a bunch of
but I
owls
don't
in
know
here.
he- Yeah,
I
yeah.
was about to say,
Who?
people
Who?
make fun of me for being agree. Jesus Christ.
So like, why is B Crow feeding to?
Bro, because
Unknown.
obviously, no, these are the I don't remember what the name of their coalition is. These are the dudes that live in Great Wildlands, right? and basically their
The
whole
degenerates
shtick,
that live in NPC
yeah,
space.
their whole shtick is they own a ton of R64s out there, and I think because if I remember correctly, AI Tech is a double R64 system, right? I'm pretty sure that's
How do
what
you
it is.
know the ore
Don't
yields
ask.
of a system?
Slav's got fucking weird random facts he can spit at you. Don't
No,
even ask.
I remember I had a friend who used to live there,
See, this
and
is
he
what
lived
happens when
there
you
'cause
ask.
he had, yeah, he lived there because there are double R64s there. So there's double R64s there, and I presume that's what they're fighting over.
Can you confirm there's double R64s there?
The real
Yes,
question
I can
is,
confirm there are double R64s there.
the real question is there a structure there I can bash?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are at least 2 Athenors, and there was an Astra House at one point.
If you
Does
look
a
on the
sieged
BR,
dreadnought count as a structure?
if you look on
Yes,
the BR,
yes,
there's stand up light and stand up heavy energy neutralizers on the BR, so there's a structure involved somewhere.
Okay, cool.
I'm seeing a lot of Electus Matari too.
So
These guys
I-
are role players, man.
So
Oh
I have
yeah, they are losing the role players.
They're losing to role players. Wow,
They're
that's
losing the
pathetic.
role players.
So
Yeah.
I gotta ask:
So anyways,
is
here's the battle report, I guess.
is there a coalition or an alliance called like Yormagers that's also fighting?
No.
Okay, so then, cool.
It looks like
Bro,
there's,
look
like,
at this Typhoon fit though. Like this is oof.
Alright,
oof.
so are we doing final thoughts or am I interrupting you abruptly?
Triple
You're
point of
abruptly
Typhoon
interrupting
raid.
because I just showed up.
T1 cruise foons, dude. I fucking love it, man.
E1
T1
cruise
spoons with
fin.
triple
y'all,
plates.
you can
Alright, folks. Thanks for watching the show tonight. We're gonna go ahead and raid someone real quick. They're still talking. I've been told that I should raid a WoW streamer. That'd be funny. No, you can't. You can't shout out your stream. No one can hear you. Like, you can't shout out your stream for breaking my heart. My God. No. He's a spammer. Redline raid in the chat. Redline raid in the chat. Wait, nobody can hear you say that. No one heard you say it. Say it again. Yeah, no, people can hear me. People can hear me, but they can't hear Discord. So anyways, Content wants you to put Redline Raid in the chat when you guys get there, and check out our buddy Steve Saven. There were some other comments about him. I've never watched him, so we'll be experiencing him together for congratulate him on getting Twitch partner, apparently. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna send you over there, give him all the love. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. We'll actually probably be live this weekend with Fanfest shit. So be around for that, or don't. I don't give a fuck. See ya.